Well, they're going to hope that the best comes today at King Power Stadium, which is where we find former Leicester winger Mark Albrighton alongside our commentator on Talksport 2, Ian Stringer. They've been difficult this season, Blackburn. I mean, look, we talk about clubs falling on hard times and difficulties off the pitch as well as on it, and Blackburn most certainly are one of those. But I tell you what, confidence amongst the fans, morale amongst the players will certainly have gone up after that 2-1 win over Southampton last weekend.
Yeah, I think it has to. I think with when you've got so many struggles off the pitch, I think you have to take the small wins on the pitch. I think last week was massive for them in terms of confidence, and I know there was a bit of unrest and there was a few chants last week aimed more towards the ownership and maybe a couple of the manager. So this will be nice for them to come away on the back of that win, away from home, to a side that have got their own fragility, and they need to pounce on that.
Yeah, they certainly do. The PA guy needs to pounce on the system at King Power Stadium. I swear to God, it's always so loud in the stadium. I'm all for ramping up the atmosphere, but at the same time, you can't hear yourself think most of the time. No. Should this Blackburn side, though, be so close to the relegation places? Because really, when you think about it, and when you think of of what they're capable of, surely it shouldn't be, they're going to be more pushing towards mid-table and putting some pressure on the playoffs, aren't they?
Yeah, you would like to think so. I personally don't think they will be in this position towards the end of the season. I do think that towards the end of the season, they'll be they will be mid-table playoffs maybe, but I think this is the theme of the Championship. I don't really think it starts taking shape until after Christmas, after the New Year, and you start to see it all sort of levelling out a bit, and you find teams whereabouts they'll be finishing towards the latter end of the season.
We talked about Leicester's struggles up front. Blackburn have had similar, so I mean, I'm hoping this isn't a goalless draw today, that's for sure. But 5-game winless run that they're looking to try and get themselves on the score sheet, because actually they've failed to score in 3 of their 5 away trips this season, which is very troubling. And actually, I just want to bring Ian Stringer, our commentator, in, because he promised me a stat about these two sides and their Premier League form, and I've been waiting for it. So go on, what is it, Ian?
Yeah, well, you're welcome, Faye, as the players come out onto the field of play. As you said at the top of the show, Faye, this is the meeting of 2 former Premier League winners, right? So, on this day, in 94-95, Blackburn Rovers beat Sheffield United 1-0 away 21 years ago on the way to winning the Premier League. Who scored the goal for Blackburn Rovers that day?
Alan Shearer.
Correct, Mark Albrighton, well done. And winning 8 consecutive games in the Premier League ended by Leicester City. 10 years ago today, Leicester City beat West Bromwich Albion 3-2 away on the way to winning the Premier League. Leicester 1-0 down. Mahrez with an equaliser. Mahrez scored 2. Who assisted those 2?
I'm going to say myself.
Correct! Yes. Mark Albrighton, everybody.
Complete guess.
There we go.
Wonderful. I love it. Right, we've got a packed live football schedule for you as always across the Talksport network this weekend. Over 500 games we're bringing you this season. Watford Middlesbrough's at 3 p.m. here on Talksport 2. First round of the FA Cup, Brackley Town against Notts Counties at 5:30. And over on Talksport at 8, it's Liverpool against Aston Villa. But King Power Stadium is our first destination this lunchtime. Leicester host Blackburn. Sit back and enjoy live and exclusive Championship football on the home of the EFL Talksport 2 in the company of former Leicester winger Mark Albrighton and your match commentator Ian Stringer.
Thank you, Faye. Yes, welcome along to a very sunny King Power Stadium this afternoon. We are bathed in sunshine for this Championship clash between 2 sides that are struggling to say the least. Leicester City line up with blue shirt, blue shorts and blue socks with Stolacic in goal. Ricardo Pereira at fullback with Victor Christiansen. One of 3 changes, Christiansen. He'll play at left back. The other 2 changes, incidentally, Simare and Carantha to the side that lost 1-0 against Millwall last time out. Okoli and Vestergaard are the centre halves. Harry Winks, Vuba Samare and Jordan James will be centrally based. Mabadidi and Fatawu are the wingers. Carantha, the 25-year-old on loan from Feyenoord, he is up front for Leicester City, whose bench reads Begovic, the goalkeeper, Suko Thomas, Luke Thomas, there's other players without the surname Thomas in the team, Oliver Skip, Patson Daka, Hamza Chowdhury, Bobby Dekodeveri, Jordan Ayew and Wout Fass. As for the visitors, Blackburn, they make one change from the side that beat Southampton. In comes Henriksen, he comes into the midfield region. Morishita sits out, so Taunton goal, Miller, Wharton and McLaughlin the back three. With Deneva at left wing back, Alebiusu at right wing back, Gardner Hickman, Tronstad and Henriksen, with Ahashi and Gudjohnsen up front for Blackburn, who are in yellow shirt, yellow shorts and yellow socks. Pairs their goalkeeper with Pickering, Rivera, Tavares, Gay, Hedges, Morishita, Forshaw and Montgomery. Leicester City players in a huddle. They will attack the end to our left. We're just above the tunnel. Mark Albrighton and I will watch on. Leicester in all blue, Blackburn in all yellow. Blackburn will attack the end to our right, which is the Cop end. Leicester will attack the end to our left, which is the Family Stand end. The referee today is Tom Neild, the referee who officiated Hull 0, Blackburn 3 earlier on in the season. We are bathed in sunshine, but neither side starts to the campaign have been sunny by any stretch of the imagination. The Foxes, 3 without a win, finding themselves in 10th, question marks over points deductions. Visitors Blackburn to the King Power, astonishingly in 21st position in the championship table. Something has got to give. Will it be this afternoon at the King Power Stadium? We are underway, and in all orange, Ballas Tort, the Blackburn goalkeeper, instantly launches one long. Leicester's right back Ricardo whacks it clear, and the visitors will try and build. A bit of shielding of the eyes from Lewis Miller, the centre half for Blackburn, and Mark Albrighton, the son, is going to play an interesting part this afternoon. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon. I think it will. I think these early kickoffs, it always tends to be the way. Remember Kasper Schmeichel used to be quite big on it, and which end we started at. Cross
into the Leicester box, just goes back to the goalkeeper. Apologies. Yeah, Kasper didn't like the sun in his eyes.
No, he didn't. He would always be in the captain's ear, in Wes's ear, saying, right, swap sides if you win the toss. So he was very big on that.
Yeah, I'd say a third of the pitch is in shadow. The third that the Leicester defence and Stolacic and Vestergaard, who's on the ball now. Talksport 2 at the King Power Stadium as Harry Winks pulls over the halfway line for Leicester. The blonde, flowing, straight Scandinavian hair of Christiansen ops backwards, and Vestergaard again has it in the defensive region for the home side. Ricardo Pereira getting the ball out of his boots, and wide now is Fatawu, Leicester's brightest player if you ask me. A minute and a half in, it's still goalless here at the King Power. Christiansen, wide left, Mabadidi 30 yards from goal, coming back into the side, thought about trying to win a free kick then, but the Foxes keeping possession. It's with Winks in what's an elevated left back position. His left back Christiansen on it, and a good bit of scrapping done by Henriksen for Blackburn, and the visitors win the ball back. Here's Gardner Hickman, who you spent a bit of time at West Brom with, did you not, Mark?
Yes, yeah, had a short spell on loan at West Brom where Taylor Gardner Hickman was.
That will be a free kick to Leicester City. It's late from Henriksen on Vestergaard. A meeting of again Scandinavian minds. Vestergaard, like a raging bull, walks off, none too happy as the Dane. I think if that's in the 30th minute, it's a yellow card. The ball is back with the Leicester City goalkeeper, Stolacic, joined the academy in the year that the man to my left-hand side was scoring the club's first ever Champions League goal in 2017. Joined Leicester City's academy in 2017, did Stolacic, the Leicester goalkeeper. He plays it neatly to Ricardo, and Leicester in the middle of the park with Sumare. All the early position in the first 2.5 minutes is with the Foxes, who try and push down the right wing here. A ball looking for what was ultimately an offside run from Carranza, but forward thinking. 3 minutes gone on Talksport 2. It's Leicester 0, Blackburn 0.
Yeah, Leicester are knocking the ball around confidently on the back of a couple of away defeats as well. It's nice to see them so assured on the ball with the passing and looking to get the ball wide as well. And obviously Carranza on this occasion just times his run. It's just a bit off. It just goes a bit too early, but the idea is there.
1 win in 8 for the Foxes at this stage in the season. They will need to turn that around. There's expectations certainly around here. You look at Mabadidi on the ball now. He was a snip at 5.5 million, wins a free kick. Referee plays an advantage, and he's done well to play an advantage. Leicester on the ball here. Wide left with Harry Winks. Not a position he's accustomed to, but knocks it infield, and Leicester try and keep it alive with Jordan James. Claims of handball, and Blackburn, architects of their own downfall there, finding Carranza. Turning neatly in midfield for Leicester City on the ball in all blue. Jordan James in towards Carranza, but that's well defended by Scott Wharton, who comes out, and Blackburn trying to attack down the left hand side. Deniva, but it goes back to Stolarczyk, and we've had 4 minutes here on Talksport 2. Watford against Middlesbrough with Ian Dancer and Perry Groves. Again, it's not on the television incidentally. He's coming up at 3. And then at 5:30 on Talksport 2, Brackley against Notts County, Mike McCarthy and Charlie Austin from St James's Park. Goalless here. Leicester having the ball as they have for much of the first 4.5 minutes. That's lovely for the Foxes from Fatawu. Fatawu in field. This is a chance for Leicester into the box. It goes. Mabadini deflected over the bar. That's a good chance. In the 5th minute, Leicester City with a chance. Mabadini's shot. The cross came in 8 yards out. He scuffed it. He took a deflection. In all fairness, it's the first corner of the game. Mark Albright is 0-0.
Yeah, fantastic bit of playing. It starts all the way back at Stolarczyk, who plays a ball out. Vestergaard, diagonal pass, and it's a great pass and move down the right hand side, which results in a low ball over to Mabadini, and the shot's blocked.
Goalless it remains. Leicester City corner towards the back post. It's headed in, but the flag's up. It will not count. Leicester thought they'd open the scoring, and did Mabadini need to head that from 2 yards out? So corner comes in, big header from I think Yannick Vestergaard. Vestergaard meets it at the near post, headed towards goal, and then Mabadini from a yard helps it in, heads it in. Goal disallowed offside. Mark Albright. Did Mabadini need to head it?
We'll see it back now, but my initial thoughts is he doesn't. I'm looking at it back, and maybe the Vestergaard header hasn't got the pace to beat Blackburn goalkeeper Tort, but you would never know now. But I don't know whether Mabadini surely needs to know he's in an offside position there and just leave it and hope that it beats the goalkeeper.
It's like the David Nugent England goal. You remember that one? It's a yard out. I'll have that. Thank you very much.
One cap, one goal.
Yeah, quite right. He's a couple of yards from us, actually, away to our left. Former England frontman, David Nugent. But it was similar to that. A yard out, yep. Footballer's instinct. You just can't help yourself, right? In it goes. So Leicester have a throw in at left back, and it's been all Leicester City. Run the ball over Blackburn in the first 6 minutes, Mark.
Yeah, I think, like I said earlier, Leicester seems to be knocking the ball out, especially that move that led to the corner there. It was a lovely bit of pass and move down the right hand side, involving Ricardo, involving Fatawu and Jordan James as well. And that's what they need more of. They need that fluidity and then patterns of play to break teams down.
How about Rovers? How have they fared in the first 7 minutes?
Yeah, they've not settled. In my honest opinion, they've not settled down. Even when they've won possession back, I don't think they've done enough to keep the ball. They need to make at least 1-2 passes to then be able to break down this Leicester side.
A lovely flick in the midfield from Harry Winks, trying to set the Foxes up. Didn't quite come off. Here's Okoli. And there's something on the pitch in the goalkeeper's 18-yard box. What was that? Is that plastic bag or something? It looks quite off-putting. Regardless, Blackburn have it. They have it wide left, and an attempted threaded ball through to Ahashi. Ahashi, I don't think is going to make it. He's not. And Okoli clears. The one on the chest of Tronstad. Tronstad, though, gives it away. The referee just stopping the game to get whatever it is off of the pitch. It's a bag. It's a balloon. It's a helium balloon, somebody's birthday. Happy birthday. In fact, a cap's come out for the Blackburn goalkeeper. Tort's putting his cap on. Such is the sun. Didn't have that problem, you wingers. Stay out the sun, stay in the shade.
I do like a bit of sun as well, but I'm not one for a cap, so I wouldn't like to be a goalkeeper in this weather.
No, it's got problem written all over it. Now, Blackburn throw, it's halfway inside the Leicester half, left-hand side. A real chance for a long throw, which we know are very fashionable these days. Lewis Miller's got it, and he can launch a long ball. They've loaded the box here of Blackburn. Carranza's back defending for Leicester, and he's pulling somebody down. In fact, referee Neil has done well to see that. Trots over, and I think he's going to say to the Leicester City frontman, you're back there in your own 18-yard box, young man. You pull somebody down like that when the ball's in play, that is a penalty. And he would be right to do so. Miller then with a long throw for Blackburn. What can come from this? They beat Southampton last time out, looking for back-to-back victories. Leicester don't allow it to bounce, but it does break, and a half-hearted attempt through the central region. It was actually Deneva, who looked like he was going to pull the trigger, couldn't do so, and with 9 minutes gone, it's Leicester 0, Blackburn 0.
Yeah, good opportunity for Blackburn there to put the ball in the box. They get the numbers forward, and we're seeing a lot more of it now, aren't we, in football, the long throw-in, and there on that occasion, the second ball doesn't quite break to them, but there's always an opportunity there when the ball goes into the box.
Stolarčić going long, looking for the advancing Fatawu. They're in for a difficult afternoon, the Leicester front men today, because Blackburn's back three are no strangers to a can of spinach, shall we say. Big strong lads at the back.
Yeah, they are. But the typical centre halves in this league, they are going to get that. So it's down to them to step the game up.
Talking of centre halves, here's Yannick Vestergaard in central midfield, dragging the ball out through ball towards Carranza for Leicester, but he couldn't get there. It's taken by Tort, the Blackburn goalkeeper. He bowls it out. It's 0-0. Talksport 2, Leicester City against Blackburn, with myself, Ian Stringer, and Mark Albrighton. A hero in these parts. There's a man to my left. Lots of nods and waves as Blackburn try and come forward. It's a good ball from Gudjohnsen, spreads it out left. An opportunity for Deneva to maybe get a cross in. He does dig out a good right-footed cross, and that's an important header from Christiansen, because I tell you what, arriving late there, I think it was Henriksen to maybe try and ghost in. 0-0 Blackburn corner.
Yeah, well defended Christiansen, because there was an overload at the back post. He had one in front, one behind him, and he managed to get up highest and win the header and put it behind for a corner. But good opportunity that was for Blackburn. Good balling.
Probably their best opportunity so far. We're yet to see the first goal here at King Power Stadium. Right arm aloft as this corner about to come in from the right hand side, and it comes Stolarčić with a double-fisted punch right in front of his own chin. Alibiusu looks to shoot from 40 yards. It takes a deflection, goes wide. Well, he scored in the win against Southampton last week, and I could almost see the confidence oozing out of his boots there, Mark Albrighton. 0-0.
Yeah, well, it just seemed to open up. I don't think he initially wanted to take the shot on, but it opened up. Nobody closed him down. He got a little bit closer to the edge of that 18-yard box and thought, why not? And it's a lovely strike from him in the end, and just takes a deflection off Vestergaard and out for another corner for Blackburn.
Hands on his hips now, also on the edge of the box, as has Henriksen. Hands on his hips. Blackburn players tussling. The second corner for Rovers taken short. Different angle of delivery into the back post. It goes. It's out of play. Henriksen couldn't quite keep it in, and it'll be a goals kick to Leicester City away to our right hand side. Enjoyed a bit of EFL All Access yesterday on Talksport 2 with Dan Fudge. Had a bit of that today as well. Excellent preview of the weekend's action. Leicester take the goal kick short. It's back to Stolarčić, and he goes very long, very centrally, and it'll probably bounce straight through to Tort, and that is what really upsets fans.
Yeah, I think from what I can make out, I'm just looking down at Marti Cifuentes there, and he's put his thumb up to Jakub Stolarčić, so I don't know whether that's something that has been worked on in training, where the striker comes short, and then it's down to the wide players to get in there.
Here's Fatawu for Leicester, wide right, takes a heavy third touch, and a cross coming to sweep up and clear the ball is Wharton. Wharton, the captain, no nonsense tackle, apologising for not being a bit tighter earlier as well. You must like Fatou as a former winger yourself.
Yeah, honestly, had a season with him.
Yep.
I thought he was absolutely fantastic. His personality as well. He was the full package. He was so unfortunate to get his injury last season in the Premier League, but started this season really well and probably just got to a little bit of a stale point in the last few weeks. But he's got all the ability in the world and he's got a very promising future ahead of him.
Abdul Fattah, a £14.6 million transfer from Sporting last year. 21-year-old. In 2024 he moved, but that injury before then, but 23, that knee injury will have been really difficult for him. ACL injury, but came back with style, shall we say. Leicester throw in wide right. They're attacking the end to our left. The ball goes back defensively to Okoli. There's been murmurings of discontent in the Foxes fans in recent weeks and months. I'm a local to this part of the world, so speak to many people, but I think the start in the first 14 minutes will breathe a bit of life into them, actually. Here is Fattah. He's got Carranza central, he's got Mabadidi. Fattah, he likes to shoot from here on his left foot, he does. It takes a deflection from the head of Scott Wharton. How many times have we seen that? Fattah steps in, hits it with his left, that's deflected, corner Leicester, 0-0.
Yeah, and that's why he's such a threat, because defenders and fullbacks know that he can go each way. They know he can cut in and he's dangerous on that left foot when he cuts inside, but he's also got the pace to beat a man down the line as well, and that's why it's so difficult to defend, and he mixes his game up really well.
In the head-to-head, Leicester have won just 1 in 4 against Blackburn. They have the bragging rights to the visitors, but I think it's fair to say in the first 15 they're on the back foot slightly. Leicester corner comes in, Vestergaard again with a header. This one not as direct. Winks tries to play it back out for, again, a different angle of delivery. Jordan James now. Ricardo Pereira tried to cross left-footed. I beg your pardon, Fattah tried to cross left-footed, looks to Pereira. I think he's saying, where were you on the overlap? I expected to be able to slide you in. I had to try and cross that. 15 gone. In the sunshine, many people not quite knowing what to do with the wardrobe. We've got woolly hats and shielded eyes. A difficult time of the year. Blackburn throw in the left-back berth. Man to my left-hand side made 313 appearances for the Foxes. How many goals, Mark?
Not enough.
19.
Yeah, not enough.
Some key ones, I don't mind telling you. First Champions League goal at Bruges. Ball out of play, says the linesman on the near side. Leicester throw in. Halfway inside the Blackburn half. Second goal against Seville here to send the Foxes through to the quarterfinals of the Champions League.
Yeah, some big ones in there, just not enough of them. But I enjoyed every single one of them.
Yeah. The ball is with Blackburn at right back. Alabiosu clears. Vestergaard wins, but Vestergaard was tussling hard with Gudjohnsen, and now it's a foot race between Okoli and Ahashi. Leicester doing well to defend there, in fairness to them. They get a bit of applause from the home crowd. They've defended that very, very well, 0-0.
Yeah, even in these early parts, first 16 so minutes, it's you can see Okoli and why he is in the team, his pace and the way he gets back to be able to cover and his strength to hold strikers off and recycle the ball has been fantastic. So he started the game really well.
Leicester with Winks tries to knock it forward to Carranza, and it's on the halfway line. Don't forget the game day phone in with O'Hara and Jennings this evening is on from 5:30. Listen on your way back from the football as the ball comes into the Leicester's near post. Okoli does well to defend and clears. You can also watch the drama tonight and the passion unfold on YouTube as well as your smart TV. O'Hara and Jennings. To see Gabby and O'Hara get caught out with John Terry voice noted in this week.
I did see it.
Did you see it? It was brilliant.
I think Gabby enjoyed it more than Jamie O'Hara.
Me too. If you missed it, folks, get onto the Talksport app. It's brilliant. O'Hara giving it the big Spurs one. John Terry decides to send a Chelsea-based voice note. It is brilliant. Check it out on the Talksport app. The ball is out of play here. It's close to the halfway line. It's a Blackburn throw. Talksport 2 from the King Power. Leicester 0, Blackburn 0. Leicester in all blue, Blackburn in yellow. The Foxes have the ball with Ricardo Pereira, looks forward to Carranza, does well to win it on the outside of his boot, but he's got to control that one in a phone box. He's got no space because Mark Albright, he's got 3 central defenders around him, and
that's the thing, and that's why it's important that you've got your wide players and even Jordan James in that 10 position, just supporting him and making sure that he's got options when the ball does go in, because a lot of the time it's one touch.
Here's Jordan James for the Foxes, scored 2 already this season, tries to slide it into Mavididi hadn't read it, it goes back to Ballas Tort. There's invention there from the Foxes. It feels like Blackburn are just covering up and taking the punches, to coin a boxing term.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I look at this game so far, almost 20 minutes in, and I think from a Leicester point of view, I think Blackburn are there for the taking.
Right.
I don't think they're too confident. You can see the lack of confidence.
And here the Foxes come with Fatawu down the right wing. He's trying to take on Gardner Hickman, actually, that sat in at left back there, which is interesting to observe. That's a late kick. A Leicester player nursing an injury in the middle of the park. It's Buba Samare, and he has just taken one where you really don't want to. Henriksen looks forward for Blackburn. Here come Blackburn then. Gudjohnsen's in the Leicester half. The visitors have got a bit of space in front of them. If they go down the left, there's even more space. Ahashi indeed has it down that left-hand side. Daniva now gets a cross in. Could be an own goal. It is in. Blackburn take the lead here. The goal scorer is Gudjohnsen. It broke down the left-hand side, and the visitors have the lead. Against the run of play, I think you've got to say. The goal scorer 2-2 now for Gudjohnsen. Leicester 0, Blackburn 1.
Yeah, and fully deserved in terms of how they have got in behind Leicester there, because you can see with Leicester's positioning that they're so focused on maintaining the attack upfield. You've got Ricardo coming into that centre midfield, and all of a sudden the ball goes wide, and you've got Caleb Okoli going out to a right back position where he should be inside, covering the middle of the penalty area, and everybody's disjointed, and that just comes purely from trying to attack too much. So Blackburn fully deserved that goal just on that bit of play alone.
Yeah, I have to agree. 20 minutes gone, Leicester 0, Blackburn 1. Gudjohnsen with 2-2 now. The Iceland international, you've got to say, it got a bit of a deflection from Sumare for Leicester. It pushed it nicely into the path from 3 or 4 yards of Gudjohnsen, but Mark Albright, strikers, right place, right time.
Yeah, but again, that touch from Sumare only comes because Caleb Okoli is pulled out of position, because Ricardo Pereira is in that central midfield position, and Buba Samare's stretching to try and cut the ball out, but that's not his position and where he should be. So it's through their own fault that they've conceded. Well done to Valor and Ishmael's side. They're a goal up here at King Power Stadium, and we did say in the build-up as well, Mark, we said there's men over on the left here. It was picked up by Ahashi, and there was an overlap, and there was no one near him. No, and I think I've noticed it in a few games that I've done, Leicester games that I've done. There's always a gap on that side because of how Leicester play. Lovely through ball. Simare onside, looks to dig out a left-footed cross, does. Fatawu tries to keep it in. Leicester trying to hit back here. Leicester 0, Blackburn 1. Fatawu, great trick to beat his man. His cross though is defended. Goes back in, big chance for handball. I think that's handball. Who is it? Which Blackburn player is it? Middle of the park, coming forward now. Gardner Hickman. I think that's handball. You're not going to see it. Linesman from that far side's not going to. It is Gardner Hickman. If you see a replay of that, I'm telling you, that's handball. Yeah, he puts his hands up to block his face, but brings them lower as the ball passes him, and it's 100% handball. It's a penalty. Should be a penalty, but it's not given, so they've got to move on. Yep, Leicester have. They're not happy that they don't have a penalty. Blackburn, I think, are a tad fortunate there. That's my view. Lewis Miller wings it well for the Rovers. And Blackburn suddenly have got their chest puffed out a little bit more here. You can understand why. They're a goal to the good just about a quarter of the way through the game here. Talksport 2. All your EFL football is always all over the Talksport network. There's a foul on Harry Winks, and is that going to be a speaking to for Henriksen? It is, and it's a yellow. I'll be honest, I think that's a bit of a harsh yellow. I think so early on in the game, it's probably his first tackle maybe, and he just caught him slightly late. But
bit of afters as well.
Yeah, I think Henriksen can count himself a little bit unfortunate to pick that yellow up.
Well, I'll task you with watching Messrs Henriksen and Winks from here on in, because vastly experienced Harry Winks, he'll know exactly who to sit on in that midfield now. You've got somebody in there with a yellow card. He'll go and try and feed that monster. Certainly long ball for the Foxes, but it goes straight back to Ballas Tort. 2 clean sheets in 12 for the Blackburn shot stopper, who looks like an orange highlighter pen today, in all orange. It's not just orange though, is it? Orange! It's an aggressive orange. Forward come Blackburn, long ball forward towards the goal scorer Gudjohnsen, but that's won by Vestergaard, and then Winks over the head of Henriksen. Now it's with Jordan James. James looks for Fatawu for Leicester attacking. Quarter of the game gone. Rovers a goal up in towards Mavididi it goes, but that's well won by the captain Scott Wharton, showing his experience there. Been at the club for 10 years now as Scott Wharton. Sliding tackle, and a good sliding tackle, still Rovers 1-0.
Yeah, reads the game really well, Scott Wharton, and you can see it just on that bit of play there, and how he expects that's where the ball's going to go, and make sure he's in that position. But I think from Leicester that they just need to be a bit more decisive in them areas. Once the ball, they get the space, they break the line, they get the ball out to Fatawu. He needs to be a bit more decisive in what he's going to do, rather than slow it down like he did on that occasion.
A few of the substitutes warming up away to our left-hand side of both teams. Both, you would expect, former Premier League winners would have options. Slightly different days these days, of course, but there are options. Talksport 2 at King Power Stadium. Leicester 0, Blackburn Rovers 1. If you're just joining us, as the shadow creeps from our right-hand side up towards the halfway line, meaning in the second half it will be a challenge for the Foxes goalkeeper Stolarczyk. Leicester have the ball in a right back berth. It's with Vestergaard now at centre half. Here's Winks, he's got lots of space. You could draw one of those match of the day circles with 20 yards around him at the minute. Here is Winks. That bouncing blonde hair of Christiansen goes back to Winks. Winks gets his chin up, stands on the ball with his right boot, purveys the scene. Knocks it towards Jordan James, given away though. Now there's a chance for Blackburn to break again. It's 2-on-2. Leicester could be in deep trouble here. Leicester could be in serious trouble. Gudjohnsen's knocked it wide. Ahashi tries to give him a shout for a ball square, but it was 2-on-2 there. Leicester have it back. It's 1-0 Rovers.
Yeah, they didn't make the most of that. They had a great opportunity, especially after when it was 2-on-2 and Vestergaard then committed himself and it was 2-on-1, but
Fatawu for Leicester fakes a cross with his right boot, back onto his left in red boots on the far side of the field, the right wing for Fatawu. Now it's with Okoli, with that kind of rude hullet, late 80s, early 90s hair. Okoli, wide right for Fatawu. Fatawu up against Deneva. Fatawu gets a good crossing, keeper should and does take. And with 26 minutes gone, it's Leicester City 0, Blackburn Rovers 1. And all the clock's going to do now, Mark Albrighton, is it's going to cause a bit of unrest in the stands.
Yeah, I think exactly that. We said about Blackburn needing to come here and put pressure on early, and they've got the goal and they can do that now.
Ahashi's in loads of space. He's got the ball. He tries a shot, saved by the goalkeeper, and it's just cleared by Ricardo. Nobody was anywhere near Ahashi. Listen to the boos. The boos are from the Leicester City fans at the King Power Stadium because the defending there was woeful. Blackburn Rovers have carved Leicester City to ribbons. Henriksen inside, 25 yards out. Ahashi, he gets his shot off. Stolarczyk saves. There's nobody within 5 yards of him, 20 yards out.
No, and it's bad defending, and even on the rebound, Ricardo does really well in the end to make sure that he can get it clear before it falls to Gudjohnsen. But it's this is where you need people like Vestergaard, Ricardo to step up and use their experience.
Corner Blackburn, and it goes to the near post. Stolarczyk does really well to take it, and he wants options, looks for them. And the referee has given Stolarczyk a free kick, which, to be honest, I don't think he wanted. I think he'd have preferred to kind of just get on with it, referee. Stolacic, by the way, has just taken the free kick outside of the box. Leicester have given it away. They are at 6s and 7s of Foxes. It could be 2 for Blackburn. The shot straight into Stolacic. What is going on with the Leicester City defending? It is awful. Approaching the half hour. Leicester 0, Blackburn 1. It could be 2 or 3.
Yeah, I just feel that they're very tentative. I feel like even when they've got numbers around the ball, they're not committing to make a tackle. They're not committing to take the ball off their opponent. They're just standing 1 or 2 yards off. Just in this stoppage in play now, Harry Winks just made sure everyone is going over to the sideline to try and regroup and get a bit of a tactical nous about how they're going to go forward from this. You can see him speaking down there to Andy King and try and get a bit of an idea of what they're going to do about this, because at the minute this isn't good enough.
Breaking play while Christiansen receives some treatment for the Foxes. Both sets of players, including the leading Blackburn Rovers players in all yellow, getting their fluids on. Luke Thomas sent out to warm up with some vigour down below us. I think Christiansen might be coming off. Put yourself in the coach's shoes if you're Marti Cifuentes. What are you saying?
Yeah, I'm saying defensively we need to be better. We need to get tighter. We need to stop shots. We need to make tackles. And then offensively, just be, again, more decisive. Like I said before, everything seems a little bit tentative, and that's defensively and offensively as well, because when the ball goes out wide, when you break that line, when the ball goes out wide to Mavididi or Abdul Fattawu on the other side, you need to do things then with a lot more purpose and a lot more pace. Fattawu's squaring his defender up. He needs to go past him, needs to take him down the line, then create the space to come inside. And at the minute, these things aren't happening, and everything's a little bit too safe.
And the atmosphere at the King Power Stadium is changing. Christiansen is still down for Leicester, so I think what he's probably doing here is I think he's biding his time so that Luke Thomas can come on, if indeed that's the case. But Christiansen limps off. He wipes his face with the bottom of his shirt, and off it seems comes Christiansen. Gary Silk down there, I think it is, who's a physiotherapist. How's my knowledge?
No, I'm not sure. The one on the right must be new.
Yeah.
And you got the doc.
Yeah.
Front and centre.
It as ever around here. Yeah, so there's going to be a change, it would seem. I don't think Christiansen's going to carry on. He's having a little trot. Looked like an ankle kind of problem, but he's been blighted by injury. So Leicester down to 10 here, 15 minutes before the half-time whistle goes. Leicester 0, Blackburn Rovers 1. The goal coming in the 20th minute from Gudjohnsen. Lovely move from the visitors down the left wing, and that's where they come again. And Ricardo has been well and truly beaten down that side. The cross comes in from Blackburn towards the back post, and just defending at left back is Jordan James, who I think the 21-year-old deserves tremendous credit. He knows his fullback's off. He's thought, I'll fill in and I'll cover those runs. Leicester give the ball away though. Here is Henriksen, the one change from the win against Southampton for the visitors. Now a cross comes into the Leicester box. Stolacic does well. To be fair to him, juggles it. And Leicester just feel like they're on the ropes here, Mark Albrighton, and they're taking breaths.
Yeah, I thought Jordan James did really well back then. He won the ball back well. He's come out with the ball. He's made a simple pass to Harry Winks. Harry Winks then gets the ball, and he needs more from his striker. He's tried to play the ball into Carranza's feet. Carranza's nowhere to be seen. Defender just jumps in front of him. He needs more. You need to have a focal point, and at the minute, they don't seem to have one of them.
There's a lethargy around the King Power Stadium today in the stands, not necessarily on the pitch, as Simare doesn't get anywhere near it. Vestergaard trots across and Vestergaard clears. Those boos are from the Leicester City fans, and I think this was always the plan for Blackburn. Let the fans turn, because they will.
And Blackburn will know as well as any team and any club, and they've had their problems themselves at Ewood Park, and they know that teams will be going to Ewood Park saying, right, let's quieten this crowd down and we're in with a chance. So they'll be looking to do exactly the same at the King Power today.
Marty, sort it out, was the chant coming from the stand opposite us, as well as the Union FS away to our right in the Kop. That's where most of the noise comes from here at the King Power. It's a corner to Blackburn, into the Leicester box it goes. The Foxes half clearing. Mavididi, who's barely been in the game, tries to clear, can't do so. Vestergaard dragged down, and now there could be a foot race. and Fatawu is involved in it. Deneva does well. He does very well for Blackburn. Deneva at left back there has done brilliantly because he could have been caught flat-footed. It goes back to goalkeeper Tort, and Blackburn, not only have they steadied up in defence, they've scored a goal, but they're looking quite sharp actually. Here come the Foxes down the right with Fatawu, gets his cross in. Carranza again is the target, can't find him. Leicester throw in wide right. 32 minutes gone, Leicester 0, Blackburn Rovers 1 on Talksport 2. The next voice you hear will be with an assessment of the first 32 minutes, that of Mark Albrighton.
Yeah, Blackburn, like we said before, have done superbly well in terms of their job and what they've come to do. They've ended up getting the goal, and Leicester need to be more assertive in everything
Fatawu
they
with
do.
a cross, it's headed clear by Wharton, apologies. More assertive, you say?
They need to be more assertive in everything they do, both going forward and defensively as well, because at the minute everything's a little bit safe and a little bit half, and no commitment to whether it's making a tackle, whether it's taking a player on. They're thinking too much about it, and I think they need to just go with it and commit to things.
A bit of home stadium pressure as well in there as well, I think.
Yeah, it's never nice when you're on the pitch and you do hear the crowd and you can feel it turning. But these players need to block that out, and they know that they've got the beating of Blackburn if they're on song, so they need to get back to it.
12 minutes to go until the break here at the King Power Stadium. Leicester free kick, it's drilled in low towards the bottom. It goes over Fatawu. That's not going to go down very well. I think it was Jordan James. I think he's going to get the benefit of the doubt, to be fair to him, because I think he's played well. I think he's had a good season, but he got that one wrong. It's one of those low drilled free kicks, and it goes straight out to play for a throw into Blackburn in the right back position. Talksport 2 with commentary after commentary after commentary. Leicester's next opponents are Middlesbrough on Tuesday. They travel to Vicarage Road today. We've got full commentary of Watford against Middlesbrough. Ian Dance from Perry Groves on duty. Dance, a Birmingham boy like you.
Lovely part of the world.
Yeah, yes indeed, yeah. I don't think you wear the same shirt, Mark. I think your shirt's a slightly different colour. Referees coming over just to have a little bit of a chat here after coming together. It'll be a free kick to Blackburn Rovers. Down there nursing one, Sean McLaughlin. Picks himself up somewhat gingerly and stomps away. I think if you're the Blackburn back three, I think you're delighted not only just to see Caranda starting. Ayu's not starting. He's going to be a handful if you're one of those back three, because he'll bully you around. Caranda starts, and he's still trying to find his feet, frankly. It's meat and drink for those back three today. Caranda.
Yeah, I've not seen enough of him to be to be convinced by him at the minute. I think even when he came to the club, the lack of goals that he scored previously didn't really excite me. But I think he deserves to get another shot at it. He deserves to have games, to get used to it. That's the only way you are going to get used to it. But you can see now Daka and Ayu coming out to warm up, and I'm sure if this carries on, then they'll be on before long.
Stilacic clears. Daka with 1 goal in 23 for Leicester. Mavadidi tries to backheel it, tries to be smart, and in this situation I'm not sure that was the best idea, because he gave it away. Leicester win it back. Buba Sumare finds Fatawu wide right. He's the Fox's brightest prospect so far into Ricardo. Leicester have got bodies over. Ricardo squares it back to Mavadidi over. But Ricardo shakes his hands forward in a circular motion. He says that's better. Ricardo Pereira looks to the crowd and says, get behind us. It is better from Leicester. Mavadidi's shot goes over. It's Leicester 0, Blackburn 1.
Yeah, and he's spot on, and this is what I was saying earlier. It needs people like Ricardo, it needs Harry Winks, it needs Yannick Vestergaard to lift this group of players, because you can see that some of them do get affected with it. Some of them are young, some of them aren't used to it. So they need to pick this group of players up, and out on the pitch there's only them there. You can feel quite isolated, so you need to stick together, and you need to get back at the good things that you know you can do, and your strengths. And that was a much better move from Leicester, and just bar the finish, it would have been them back on track.
Leicester have the ball in the defensive region, which is normally a good cue for a commentator to get a bit more out of his summariser, but the way Leicester are defended today, I'm not sure I'm particularly safe. I'm going to ask you about some of your leaders back in your day in a minute, Marco. Right down the right, though, comes Fatawu. Fatawu spreads it beautifully, finds Gudjohnsen, who's recovered from that knock, needs a cross, comes back inside, goes backwards, winks. Leicester 30 yards from the Blackburn goal, attacking the end to our left. The sun's gone in, the temperature's dropped. Here's James. Jordan James gets a left-footed cross in. Mabadidi heads it square when it needed to go goalwards. The crowd are saying, why did you go square? I think that's what he meant to do. I think he meant to head it towards goal, but it's just gone square. 1-0 Blackburn.
Yeah, I'm not sure heading is his strength, Mabadidi. I think I couldn't agree with you more. I think he has tried to go for goal there. He just got it horribly wrong. But again, better. They've got bodies in the box. They're getting the ball in the box.
Yeah,
it's a lot better.
Head like a Toblerone. Down the right comes Fatawu now for Leicester. 7 to go before the break. They trail Blackburn by a goal to 0. Fatawu, James, right footed shot over the bar. It was a rasping effort. He had to take it in his stride, did Jordan James. Leicester looking for the equaliser. Fatawu again at the centre of most good things about Leicester City. Set it back. Jordan James just running onto it beautifully. It's a yard over. It's Leicester 0, Blackburn 1.
Yeah, last few minutes been a lot better. Good opportunity there. He strikes it. He strikes it well. It's just a foot too high, just over the bar. But again, it's down that right hand side. It's Fatawu that's causing the problems, and it's a case of getting the ball out to him fast. They need to get the ball out to him as quick as possible so that he can isolate the wing back.
Like the voice of a winger of these parts for many a year. 10 years?
10 years, yeah.
Free transfer.
Yeah, free. Yeah, it's about my value, that.
Well, you say that. Free transfer, went on to win the Premier League, win the FA Cup, win the Community Shield, Champions League quarter-finalist. Not a bad free transfer. It was an interesting team that season. Not a lot of money spent. Shout outs to Steve Walsh Senior, head of recruitment at that time. Foul against Carranza. Free kick Leicester. Scott Wharton committing the foul on the halfway line. Talk about leaders. Give me some names from back in your day. I'd imagine Wesley Morgan's one.
Wes Morgan certainly one. Fantastic leader. He weren't one for bawling and shouting, but when something needed to be said, he would always make sure that it was said, and everybody was moving on from that situation. Kasper Schmeichel, bit more aggressive with his leadership. Fantastic player that I admire dearly. I think he probably sent my game to a new level in terms of my professionalism, and once I seen him doing certain things, I wanted to get to that point. So him as well. So I've had some good ones over the years.
Free kick Blackburn. It was Mabadidi fouling Lewis Miller, who signed from Hibs in the summer on a 3-year deal, did the 25-year-old Miller, but Mabadidi just tugging away at his shirt. So free kick to Blackburn, who had taken their time on. I do not blame them. 4.5 minutes to go before the break. Taut still with the cap on, not needed because the sun's long since disappeared. Leicester clear. Carranza has it in a left wing position here, finds Gudjohnsen, who frankly just whacks it anywhere will do downfield. Straight into Taut, and they're going to turn the crowd here, our Blackburn Rovers, if not already. That's for sure. Interesting to hear Valérien Ismaël after the win against Southampton. He said the game against Southampton must be a benchmark for the players. If you go below that line in the first half, you won't get anything in this league. Well, they've had a decent first half in this game.
Yeah, they have. I've been impressed with them. I think they started slowly. They look like they lack confidence, but as soon as they've got the goal, they've looked threatening going forward. Ricardo
Pereira finds Fatawu, Leicester's brightest prospect, tries his luck from 25 odd yards at an angle. That goes in, his goal of the season, but he is capable of that. Abdel Fatawu, who scored 3 this season, and a couple of them beauties, but not on that occasion. Leicester have it halfway inside the Blackburn half. 1-0 Blackburn lead here. The goal in the 20th minute from Gudjohnsen. Leicester give it away, and now the creator, Deneva, looks to come down the left wing. It's with Ahashi. Scored in the defeat against Sheffield United 10 days ago, did the Japan international. Blackburn fans finding their voices. can understand why. Languishing in the Championship, but a great start. And down the right comes Fatawu for Leicester. Is he going to keep that ball in? No is the answer. And he kicks the advertising hoardings in frustration, does the Ghanaian.
Yeah, you can see him getting frustrated even these last sort of 5-10 minutes. I've been watching him and he does look a frustrated figure. I think he wants the ball early. He wants to make things happen. He wants to have a lot of space to be able to take his opponent on, and I feel like he don't feel he's getting that at the minute.
2 minutes to go before the break. Blackburn for sure are just trying to see this out, and you can understand why. Goalkeeper Tort goes long, and the referee's given a free kick against the goal scorer, Gudjohnsen. 37 caps and 10 goals for Iceland, the 23-year-old. Not bad for 23. 37 caps for your country, Gudjohnsen.
Extremely good.
You played with a player who had a similar international record at a very young age, as I recall, Yuri Tillemans.
Yeah,
he'd got loads of caps by 20-year-old, hadn't he?
We talk about leaders. He is another one. Leads by example, and he's so experienced at such a young age. I think he had captained Monaco or Anderlecht in the Champions League, and he came with a wealth of experience at such a young age.
Throwing wide left for Blackburn. It goes long. It hits the goal scorer. Gudjohnsen inside. He goes to Ahashi. Ahashi still on the ball, twisting, turning, looking to win something, probably a corner. Look at Blackburn. They've got a little rondo going. The Olays are coming out now. They're knocking the ball around in 2-3 yards beautifully down the left wing. 18 yards from goal. That's called the curse of the commentator kids, because they then give it away and Leicester clear. Interesting what a goal can do for confidence, though, eh?
Yeah, it is, and they'll just build it. And as, like you say, the longer the game goes on and that clock ticks, it's they're gonna have even more confidence.
Do you reckon that Marti Cifuentes will look to the bench at half time, particularly up front?
I think he will do.
Yeah, he's got a couple of options. I'm sure we'll go through them at half time as Blackburn look to come down the right hand side. In fact, that's out of play. His options are Daka, Ayew, Deco over Reed if you want a bit of width. Mavadidi's barely been in the game.
No, I've been disappointed with Mavadidi. I have this season, I must admit. I think I've worked with him, I've played with him. I know that he's got bags of ability. I know when he's on song, and he is a real threat. He's positive, takes players on. He's got great feet, but not seen it this season at all.
Well, he's just gotten around Carranza to pick the ball up, and he's done well there, Mavadidi. His best contribution to the game. Cross comes in from Fatawu, but Carranza didn't. Diving header. He could have just stooped for it, like a 100-metre sprinter, just throwing your chest at the line. If Carranza does that on the edge of the 6-yard box, I think he scores an easy goal. It was 1-0 Blackburn.
Yeah, it's difficult to say without seeing. We'll probably see now, but I think he's expecting the ball just to be rolled across the floor, but it does get lifted. Yeah, he's got to do more. He's got to push himself to try and get on the end of that Carranza, and that's where I just feel like we're just lacking up that top end of the pitch, Leicester.
1-0 it is, Blackburn here. You're listening to Talksport. That voice you just heard, that of Mark Albrighton. My name's Ian Stringer, bringing you full commentary here from the King Power Stadium. The only goal is with 1 minute into 3 minutes to be added at the end of the first half. The only goal coming in the 20th minute. Andre Gudjohnsen with it. He scored an 86-minute winner against Saints last time out. He scored the goal that separates the sides here as Leicester come forward. I think they're probably good for their lead as well, Blackburn, I've got to say. Here's Mavadidi, wide left for Leicester. Leicester attacking the ends well left. Mavadidi chops inside, still needs a final product. Tries a left footed cross, digs one out. It's clear. Ahashi just whacks it forward for Blackburn.
Just even in that situation there, Mavadidi's got the chance to put the cross in with his right foot. He turns it down and delays it.
Sumare with the ball in towards Jordan James. Inside right channel, he needs a good cross. It's overhit. And it's way too big. Christensen does brilliantly to keep it in fairness. That looked like it was going out all day. Leicester keeping it alive. Winks, poor, clear by Blackburn. Forward come the Rovers, but Okoli into Ahashi. Ahashi somehow keeps the ball. Ricardo Pereira does well, and Leicester have it with Vestergaard on the halfway. Now Mavadidi. Look at Carranza having a bit of an arm wrestle up front. Here is Mavadidi. Loses the ball, but is fortunate to get it back. Still got the ball as Mavididi. This might be the last action of the first half. Gudjohnsen, left-footed, digs out across for Leicester. In towards Carantha it goes, but Blackburn are just getting the big, muscly centre-halves around Carantha and saying, we will sweep you up. It's like Leicester needs somebody on his toes. They need a number 10 to go and sit and help him.
Yeah, we've spoke about their centre-halves. That's food and drink for them, hopeful balls that are getting put into the box.
Well done, Blackburn. They're marshalling this game very, very well. And here's the goal scorer, Gudjohnsen, in his own half. He's got an option to the left-hand side. Okoli should deal with that, and he does. And he's just accidentally need a Hashi on the way through. Gudjohnsen, the crowd getting behind the Foxes, who trail by a goal to nil. That boo is because Gudjohnsen has gone backwards rather than forwards. This place is going to be toxic in the next 30 seconds, unless that goes in, which it doesn't. Listen to this. That is the half-time whistle at the King Power Stadium, and it's a half-time whistle of some very, very frustrated Leicester City Foxes fans. Two people have just shouted across to Mark Albright to my left-hand side and said, get your boots on.
Yeah, I don't think I'd make much difference, I'll be honest. Had a good week after. But nah.
Give us your assessment of the first half. 1-0 Blackburn.
Yeah, and it's not been a game full of great football from both teams. I think that what Blackburn have done and the way that they've played the game is perfect in terms of they've come here, they've quietened the crowd, they've turned the crowd, they've got their goal, and now second half it's down to Leicester to come out at them, and that'll open gaps, and which we've already seen. But I think from a Leicester point of view, it's just not been good enough. A lot of hopeful balls into the box that is just getting ate up by the three centre halves, and when that happens, they need to find another way of creating chances and breaking down this Blackburn team and breaking down that low block, because at the minute they seem out of ideas, and there's a lot of it falling on Fatawu, and there's a lot of onus on him, and he can't do it all himself.
Huge credit, Faker Others should go to Blackburn Rovers for me. They broke the deadlock in the 20th. Gudjohnsen with the goal that separates them defensively. They've been astute. Leicester City have been poor at the back. At the break, the visitors lead. Leicester City 0, Blackburn Rovers 1.
The irony is I was actually bigging up Leicester's defence at the beginning of the game, and particularly at home as well, Mark Albrighton, but they've been really, really poor. But let's focus on how good Blackburn have been and how patient actually Blackburn have been, because they've really did a job on Leicester in many ways. Leicester had all the ball in the first half and then pounced on a silly mistake, and it was a poor one, but pounced well on it.
Yeah, and we spoke beforehand about how they needed to come and probably jump on Leicester's fragility and where they're suffering. And I felt in the first probably 5 or so minutes they looked nervous. Blackburn, they looked out of sorts. They didn't look comfortable in possession, but then they grew into the game a little bit, and you can see it's where their goal comes from as well, obviously because of how Leicester play, and Ricardo Pereira coming into the centre of midfield. As soon as there's a turnover, there's a big gap in that right back position of Leicester's, and that's where Blackburn end up exploiting. The ball comes in, and they obviously get the knock on, the deflection, and then the goal. So it's they've played the game well, and they fully deserve to go in 1-0 ahead.
Yeah, that ball went through the legs of Okoli, deflected off of Buba Samare into the path of Gudjohnsen. But you mentioned it in commentary. Okoli again pulled out of position. There's just something that isn't organised about that Leicester defence at the minute. It happened again last week against Millwall. But when they've been trying to get themselves back into the game, which took quite a long time, it was literally that sustained amount of pressure towards the last 10 minutes of the first half. They've looked good, but again, then they have no end product.
No, it's like they haven't got too many ideas in that final third. The ball goes out wide, and there's a lot of onus on Abdul Fatawu to produce something magical. And teams are working that out, especially when you play against a team like Blackburn that play 5 across the back. So then you've got the wing back, then you've got the left-sided centre half doubling up on him. I think over on the left-hand side, I think Mavropanos had a poor half. I don't think he's done enough to create chances for Leicester. And like I said, there's a lot of hopeful balls just getting chucked into the box that the three centre-halves are just eating up and will do for the remainder of the game. So they need to be a bit cuter. Jordan James needs to get on the ball and drive at that defence a little bit more, and they certainly need more movement up top, because I feel like Carranza has looked lost up there. He hasn't been in the game at all, and they certainly need to change something at the top end of the field.
And you highlighted it right at the end there, didn't you? Because he didn't stick his leg out on a decent ball that had been put into the box, and Mavropanos getting into positions but just not executing. Probably that Jordan James shot from just inside the area was their best opportunity, just over the bar. But then they should have had a penalty as well. That was a clear handball from Gardner-Hickman in the box. His arms were up defending his face, but his left arm was slightly out. Difficult for the officials to see, but they'll be aggrieved with that.
Yeah, I think they will. I think for me it's definitely a penalty. I think there's a lot of distance between the ball and the lad that sticks his arm out. So for me, it's not in a natural position. It's a penalty. But having said that, they need to create more than that. They can't hold on to things like that. We spoke about Carranza there in terms of could he have chucked himself at Fatawi's cross. He just doesn't look very proactive. He looks like he's reacting to everything a couple of seconds too late, and at this level that's not enough, and you are just going to get eaten alive by some good quality centre halves.
Yeah, without a doubt. Maybe some changes afoot for Leicester for sure after those boos for the players heading in to the tunnel at half time. Back to the King Power very, very shortly over on Talksport right now, by the way. Game Day Live with Adrian Durham is going to take you around the grounds from the Premier League and the FA Cup today. You can also use the Talksport app to swipe between stations if you would like. Second half commentary at King Power Stadium coming next. We'll go through the other half-time and latest scores from the lunchtime kickoffs, plus we'll look ahead to our 3 o'clock championship game, which is Watford against Middlesbrough.
Your live sports station.
Oh, what a move.
This is Talksport 2. Talksport 2 is your dynamic destination for all the latest sporting action, featuring live commentary of all the biggest events, including football, PGA golf, horse racing, Premiership rugby, cricket, boxing, and all the big-hitting drama of the NFL.
Touchdown!
Plus, Talksport 2's official betting partner, William Hill, is always on hand with the insight and in-depth analysis you need. Talksport 2 with official betting partner, William Hill. 18+, gambleaware.org.
There's never been a better time to join Sky.
Oh my God.
This autumn, for our lowest price, you won't just get all of Sky Sports with more Premier League and WSL games than ever before.
Staggering moments!
And every F1 race live.
Absolutely epic!
You'll also get unmissable entertainment from Sky and Netflix too.
We're going to have so much fun.
Visit Sky.com. Sky. Believe in better. New Sky TV customers only require Sky Stream and relevant Sky TV subscriptions. Minimum broadband speed of 25 megabits per second recommended. 18+.
When you have a Pixel 10, you may get asked a few questions, like, what is that? How did you do that? And can we use your camera instead? Ask more of your phone. Google Pixel 10.
I'm Professor Huggington, and I like to hug.
When your kid's favourite toy starts to run out of battery power, no need to worry. Your new batteries are already on their way, arriving today with Amazon Prime. Everyday essentials delivered fast. It's on Prime.
I'm Professor Huggington, and I like to hug.
Cut-off times and T's and C's apply. See product page when ordering.
At Lidl, there's always more to value. Like saving £28 on this week's Big Shop when you switch to Lidl Plus from Tesco Club Card. See the shop at lidl.co.uk/save. Lidl, more to value. 18+ GB only. Offer ends 5th of the 11th, 25. Price check 20th of the 10th, 25 and pro-rated based on size. Tesco also sell other products. Excludes multi-buys, T's and C's apply.
After a magical visit to the Kingdom of Caring, there's been a spooky mashup in Happy Meal, and the Care Bears are all jumbled up. Join the Care Bears on their most spellbinding adventure yet. Some fun, some food, it's all inside this Happy Meal. Until 4th of November, from 11 a.m. Includes one pre-selected book or toy, while stocks last. Subject to availability, fair ordering policy applies.
Some brands sponsor athletes for the glory.
but not Quaker. We're real food. So we sponsor Team GB for the real stuff, the ugly stuff. The 5 a.m. alarms, the blisters, bruises, goggle marks, and mountains of sweaty laundry. Because we know that getting to greatness takes a delicious helping of ugliness. And my word, our porridge is ugly. Look at the state of it. Quaker. Deliciously real, deliciously ugly sponsor of Team GB.
Imagine the varifocal lens of the future, personalized to you, engineered with artificial intelligence and powered by your visual behavior. Experience instantly sharp vision in motion with Varilux XR Pro lenses from Essilor. Find your local optician at essilor.com and ask for Varilux XR Pro.
Introducing the redesigned Dell PC with the Intel Core Ultra processor. It helps you handle a lot, even when your holiday to-do lists get to be a lot. Like organising your holiday shopping and responding to holiday requests and customer questions and customers requesting custom things, plus planning the perfect holiday dinner for vegans, vegetarians, pescatarians and Uncle Mike's carnivore diet. Woo! Luckily, the Dell PC helps you handle a lot. And with impressive battery life, you can do it all faster to get it all done. That's the power of a Dell PC with Intel inside. Get yours at dell.co.uk/holiday.
The sports machine turns you on to the power of live football.
He fires in a beauty.
EFL Live on Talksport 2.
Backing off, he goes past the defender, squares it for Kayembe, who knocks it in. Fantastic goal from Watford.
The ball's played in towards the near post. He takes a couple of ricochets and they're back in it. Watford.
Ayling looking for the run of Sen in the area, down the right hand side of the box, gets the shot in and scores. Middlesbrough are not to be denied.
You know, aggressive.
Here's a chance off for Conway at the other end into the area, fires it across goal. And Middlesbrough lead.
This is EFL Live here on Talksport 2. Faker Others with you this afternoon. Before we have a quick roundup of the rest of the lunchtime scores, we're going to look ahead to our 3 p.m. kickoff, Watford against Middlesbrough. And former Arsenal winger Perry Groves and Ian Danter are ready and waiting for us at Vicarage Road. How are you both?
All good, Jelly Baby's
here.
No. Hello, Fate, and I didn't throw him at him just before he come on air, just to discombobulate. By the way, everybody sends their love from Watford here.
I bet they do. I'm sure they do.
Missing you massively.
I bet they thoroughly enjoyed last night, although maybe not the result after Luton's 4-3 win over Forest Green. That was a bit of a horror show at times.
Never in doubt, Fate.
Well, I don't know. It was a little bit stressful. The football's the winner always, definitely. Will football be the winner today? And will Middlesbrough be the winner, actually? Because they could draw level with Coventry after that 3-2 defeat to Wrexham last night. And actually, Wrexham caused problems for Middlesbrough last weekend, held them to a 1-1 draw. They're the favourites, obviously, Borough today. How do you expect this one to go, Perry?
To be fair, I said to Dance when we was down in the green room, I said
the green room.
Sorry, the yellow.
Where he's got that from?
The yellow room, not the green room. So
press room.
The press room. Yeah, I said I thought there's going to be goals in this game, and the reason being, even though Middlesbrough are so good away from home and only lost like one game in the Championship, it's just the way that Watford played against Coventry last week, and I know that they were 3-0 down at half time.
And 10 men.
And down to 10 men. Obviously, Bankwa got sent off with like I think a minute to go. But they could have been 4 or 5-3 up, because Rushworth in goal for Coventry, he was like an octopus. He was pulling saves all over the place. And Watford were very, very good going forward. And then randomly, the second half, obviously down to 10 men, they defended far better and they didn't concede any shots on their goal. Obviously, you sit a bit deeper when you're down to 10 men and try and get yourself back in the game, which they did, end up losing 3-1. So I just think, the way that Javi Garcia has got this Watford team playing, I think there'll be goals here today.
Yeah, I think you might be right, actually. He's got a few things to fix to get them back on track. But what have you made of Rob Edwards' job with Borough so far and what they can achieve this season?
Fantastic. I was a bit worried at first, Faye, because you might remember a week or two into the season they got walloped 4-0 in the EFL Cup by Doncaster, and a few of those Middlesbrough supporters who weren't particularly convinced at Edwards' appointment were probably thinking, not again, we're not going to go through this sort of upheaval and up and down and up and down. But look, he's lasted longer than he did here, has Rob Edwards up at Middlesbrough. You know, you think back 3 years and he lasted 11 games here before the Pozzos.
And Luton Town are grateful for that.
Well, yeah, and he walked straight into that job, and next thing you know, he's Premier League, so he could have been forgiven for being, you know, enjoying the Schadenfreude. But I think he's picked up where Michael Carrick left off, and let's face it, Michael Carrick got Middlesbrough close.
Did a brilliant job.
But he's just made some smart acquisitions. I've mentioned before how I think Callum Britton is one of the most underrated right-backs in the division. I think he's been great for Blackburn over the years. I thought he was a smart buy. Similarly, getting Matt Targett on loan on the left-hand side, good acquisition. Keeping Hackney, I think, was very important.
Huge. Yeah.
Very important, and he rescued him against Wrexham last week in that 1-1 draw you mentioned before. What they are doing is they're spreading goals around the team. They've got 11 different goal scorers if you exclude own goals. That's most in the division.
So basically they are literally the Red Arrows.
Yeah,
that's what they are.
Yeah, that's pretty much so, yeah.
Important. Listen, we'll continue this chat. Our build-up's going to start at 2:30, but we need to head back to the King Power shortly because Leicester and Blackburn players are going to be heading back onto the pitch ahead of the second half. So speak to you both later on today. A couple of extra results to give you as well. Not results, should I say, latest scores. Half-time in the Championship. No goals. Norwich 0, Hull 0, West Brom 0, Sheffield Wednesday 0. In the FA Cup, though, Chelmsford a 4-1 up against Braintree, thanks to 2 goals from Lyle Taylor. National League South side fully in control of this one because Braintree are down to 10 for the last 30 minutes. Aidan Francis Clark was sent off for violent conduct. And in the Barclays WSL, it's Chelsea 1, London City Lionesses 0, and Manchester City 1, West Ham 0. Right, players are back out at King Power, and I think we've got some changes. So let me hand you back to our team up there, Mark Albrighton and Ian Stringer.
Thank you, Faye. Yes, welcome back. The sun is back out at King Power Stadium. Leicester 0, Blackburn Rovers 1, and the visitors are going to be bringing on Morishita by the looks of things. In fact, it could well be a double change. Hedges coming on as well. So indeed, Deneva's coming off, the left back who assisted the goal, which is interesting. He comes off, Ryan Hedges comes off, and as I suspected at the break, Mark Albrighton and I having a bit of a chat, Henriksen going off, Morishita comes on. I suggest that's because he's on a yellow card, but for the record, Leicester blue shirt, blue shorts, blue socks, attacking the Kop end to our right. No changes for the Foxes. Stalacic in goal, Ricardo Pereira, Okoli, Vestergaard and Christensen the back four, with Samare, Winks and Jordan James in the middle. The wingers are Mavididi and Fatawu, with the frontman Karandha for Leicester City, whose bench reads Begovic, the goalkeeper, Silko Thomas, Luke Thomas, Oliver Skip, as Karandha is offside, so if he puts it in, it will not matter, which he did. It will not matter. Patson Daka, Hamza Chowdhury, Bobby Decordova Reid, Jordan Ayew and Wout Fass. It was a good run in fairness from Karandha, you know. He's running behind, he's offside, he's put it in, but a bit of bright for the Foxes fans. And Blackburn a goal up here in yellow shirt, shorts and socks, with Tort in goal, Miller, Wharton and McLaughlin the back three. On has come Ryan Hedges with Alibiosu, Tronstad, Gardner-Hickman, Ahashi, Gudjohnsen and substitute Morishita, who's come on as they attack now. Cross comes in. This could be number 2 for Blackburn. He's gone over the bar. He's got to score. Gardner-Hickman, he's got to work the goalkeeper bare minimum. Cross along the deck, 12 yards out. I think he strikes it with his instep. 1 minute and 3 gone in the second half. For me, he's got to work the goalkeeper. I think he should score. Leicester 0, Blackburn 1.
Yeah, he has to score, Taylor Gardner-Hickman. The ball drops nicely to him around the penalty spot. Yeah, it's on his left foot, but a player of his technical ability would fancy that 100%. If you give him the ball there, 9 times out of 10, he certainly hits the target, but on this occasion gets it horribly wrong, skies it over.
He did indeed. So for the record, the rest of the bench, Pears is a goalkeeper on the bench with Pickering, Ribeiro, Tavares, Gay, Forshaw and Montgomery if Blackburn want to make any more changes. There's a bit of an issue up front for Rovers here. Down has gone goal scorer and frontman Gudjohnsen. Vestergaard is in close proximity. Vestergaard's got his hands on his hips with his blue shirt billowing around in the Saturday afternoon breeze. It is windy down there. Looks to be pleading innocence. So in fact, what's happened is Gudjohnsen has just run into the back of of Vestergaard. Well, there's a Fiat 500 going into the back of a articulated lorry, frankly. I wouldn't want to run into the back of Yannick Vestergaard.
No, absolutely not. He's a big lad.
Yeah. Long ball forward from a free kick for Blackburn Rovers. Leicester scrapping away to try and win it. And Christiansen opts long, looks for Fatawu. Fatawu, do you know, he did really well to control it. It was just unfortunate it stuck so hard in his boots almost. And Blackburn Rovers have an opportunity to clear their lines. They lead by a goal to nil here on Talksport 2. Cracking game at the Vic. Watford taking on Middlesbrough. But we've got this to contend with first, and then after that, Brackley against Notts County. Mike McCarthy and Charlie Austin in the FA Cup first round. They're on commentary duty at St James's Park. Throw in Leicester, wide right wing. Leicester attacking the Kop end to our right. We're above the tunnel here at King Power Stadium. Here's Harry Winks. Winks, who's got one this season, trots right, finds Fatawu. Leicester need an equaliser. 3 minutes gone in the second half. Fatawu's gotten round his man and wins a free kick, only after protesting hard to the referee. And this, to coin a hockeyism, is a short corner.
Yeah, I want to see Fatawu do more of that. A lot of the time in the first half, he cut inside on his left foot, but on this occasion, goes down to the byline, tries to get to the byline for a cross or a cutback. And he's got the pace to do that, and he does cause problems when he does that because he's so sharp over those first 2 or 3 yards.
So it's a Leicester free kick. It's next to that little mark there is that's 10 yards from the corner flag that just indicates a 10-yard quadrant, shall we say, for players to stand behind defending players. The ball's very close to that little mark that's off the field of play. It's only 2 yards from being a penalty. 4.5 minutes gone in the second period. Leicester 0, Blackburn 1, Talksport 2. Looks like it's going to be taken by Victor Christiansen, leaning on his right hip. Takes it short, right-footed over the bar. That's awful from Harry Winks, but gets applause from Marti Cifuentes because it's a move. They've worked on it. Everyone thinks it's going to the back post. Harry Winks wants it, gets it. The execution's not great. The idea is better. Leicester 0, Blackburn 1.
Yeah, and they need to show more of that, just that bit of creativity, because a lot of the time it was just percentage football and they're just lumping balls into certain areas and there weren't really much thought about it. At least with that, you can see a little bit of thought. I thought maybe Christiansen wraps it back at Harry Winks, probably could have took a little bit off it, but again, Harry Winks, the execution has got to be better.
10 caps for England, Harry Winks, in his time. Will have wanted to have done, but he's got the ability to do better. I think in this league he's one of those players, for me, watching throughout the league with respect, he's one of the ones that does stand out as being kind of head and shoulders above this league, but success in the Premier League remains to be seen. He'll want to be promoted, but lots going on at Leicester City. Yeah. Chief executive left relatively recently, Susan Whelan, after an incredible spell at the helm. Points deductions, chief executives left. It's a difficult time of the year for the club, incidentally, because it's the anniversary of the tragic helicopter crash just 4 days ago. The club's darkest day. I went and visited the Memorial Garden before the game and saw the commemoration to Kun Vishai, the former chairman. If ever you do come to the King Power as an away fan, head to the garden. It's beautiful. And a memory of a tragic day, but memory of some people that were lost on that day. Throw into Blackburn down the left-hand side. They lead 1-0 here on Talksport 2. Ricardo for Leicester does well, juggles, clears over his head. Gardner-Hickman, who could have scored a second for Blackburn, the former Bristol City and West Brom, who's on loan from Birmingham, could have scored, didn't. Throw in wide left again for the visitors. Sean McLaughlin goes short. Now a chance for the ball to be crossed by Blackburn. It is a volley and it's saved by the goalkeeper. Again, should have gone in. Morishita should have scored. He really should have. Right-footed volley. Morishita he didn't quite catch it, Mark Albrighton, did he? 1-0 Rovers.
No, he hits it into the ground in the end, but it's another fantastic chance and just so free at the back post, and it's a lovely ball in, but
Cross for Leicester, it's clear. Well done, Blackburn. They're working their moves and their opportunities so well.
They're just being so patient and passing the ball around and then waiting for a gap to appear, which on many occasions so far in the game it has done.
Morishita with the chance that he couldn't convert, and forward once again come Blackburn. That was Ahashi, a couple of Japan internationals in the yellow of Blackburn at this stage. Both experienced as well. Ahashi, 29-year-old. Morishita, 28, as Leicester try and come forward. Mavididi making a run but can't get there. Alebiosu clears for Blackburn to the halfway line, to the aforementioned Morishita. Blackburn looking tidy. Look at the run down the left-hand side. A real chance if they could get it to the back post, and free and screaming for the ball was Ryan Hedges. 1-0 Blackburn.
Yeah, and you can see they play this system so well. Ryan Hedges come on at wing back at half time, and he's getting forward at every single opportunity. On that occasion, he's got 10-15 yards of space at the back post if he can be found with the cross. On this occasion he weren't, but they're getting in some great positions.
Blackburn really working openings well. Here's Jordan James for Leicester down the right. Jordan James twists, turns. Can he dig a cross out? He does. Low towards the near post. Crowds and doubles. Leicester should equalise. How's he saved that? Mavididi from 4 yards. Tort gets across and saves it. I've never seen anything like it. Mavididi's in front of goal 4 yards, and somehow Blackburn goalkeeper Tort, huge credit to him. How has he gotten across to save that? 1-0 Blackburn.
Yeah, it's a fantastic save by Tort, but Mavididi has to score. You can say anything about the goalkeeper. He stands up tall, he puts his body in the. Mavididi has to score. When you're that close to goal, you're in that much space, just slide it into the back of the net.
If I put Mavididi in front of goal where he just was 100 times, how many is he scoring?
99.
You are, aren't you? You 99. Are. You've got to score. He had to score. Well done to Tort. Somehow threw everything he could at the ball, but Mavididi has got to score. Blackburn a little fortunate there for me. But 1-0 they lead. They're riding their good fortune, and they may get a cross in here. Christensen's done well against Alebiosu, who was looking to cross. Leicester 0, Blackburn 1 on Talksport 2.
Yeah, we're just watching this back now. Jordan James does superbly well down the right. Carranza gets to the near post to try and leave it, and the goalkeeper does well. Like I say, he stands tall, he spreads himself, but Mavididi, he's got both sides of the goal to aim at. He just needs to pass it in.
If he mishits it, it goes in. Cross by Blackburn towards the back post. It's crossed to Larchik's goal. He does well to catch it and save. Talksport Breakfast is back from 6 o'clock on Monday, looking back on the weekend's action with Jess Stelling and Ali McCoist. If you prefer waking up some tunes, Chris Evans is on Virgin every morning at 6:30. Talksport app is your one-stop shop for all our stations. You can happily swipe between them to suit your requirements. Download it from your favourite app store now, whether it be Talksport 1, Talksport 2, swipe across. Love listening to Breakfast. White and Jordan's my favourite though. Get Simon Jordan on his high horse, there's nothing better. That'll be in Mavididi's head now, Mark O'Brien, won't it?
I'm sure it will. Do you know, I've seen him, there's been a couple of occasions this season where he has missed really good chances from good areas of the pitch, gets himself in them positions, and he's missed a couple of big chances this season, and it does seem to affect him.
Buba Samare looks for Fatawu, can't find him. Hedges, the substitute for Blackburn, goes past Ricardo Pereira, and is Ricardo Pereira going to be booked for that? I think he's going to get away with it, the City skipper. Just a body check. Ill discipline from the Portuguese. Leicester fan to my right hand side just looked at me. I can lip read some of it, I can repeat, and he said it's unbelievable. There might have been a word in between. 11 since the break. Leicester 0, Blackburn 1. Blackburn could have had a second, let's remember that as well. Morishita with an opportunity. Here is the goal scorer in the 20th minute, Gudjohnsen, scrapping away against Ricardo, beats him in the arm wrestle. Tell you what, they are popping it around, Blackburn Rovers, at the moment with consummate ease, with confidence. Leicester trying to close down, and they force Rovers back to their goalkeeper Tort, who just rolls it with his studs and then looks long right-footed, wheels his arms behind him as he recoils like a spring. Simare trying to win it in his own half, but he's given it straight to Hedges for Blackburn, who stays on his feet down the left. Ricardo, that's a poor tackle, misses Hedges by 2 postcodes. And now Blackburn with another opportunity to cross, takes a deflection from Okoli, saved by the goalkeeper. What was Ricardo's tackle there? It was miles off it. 1-0 Blackburn.
Yeah, I think Ryan Hedges has done very well since he's come on in this second half. He's attacked well, seems to be playing very high up the pitch and very brave. And that's one thing I like about Blackburn. They've come here and they have been very brave. They obviously went with a 2 up top to start with.
Scott Wharton has just schooled Caranda just now, stood up strong, said, if you want to get past me, get past me. This should be a corner for Leicester. Here it is. The corner at the Kop end to our right. Carranza picking himself up, but Carranza's run into Scott Wharton, and Wharton's just stood there. So if you want to come past me, you can go through me if you want, but you're not going to, and he didn't.
Yeah, they've played him really well. The back three of Blackburn played Carranza so well, and yeah, he's on there. He's up there on his own, but he's got to be stronger for me. He's not put himself about. He's not caused them enough problems.
Montgomery's coming on very soon for Blackburn. We've had 59 minutes. It's Leicester 0, Blackburn 1 on Talksport 2. The Foxes have a corner that's taken short to Fatawu. Fatawu on his left boot needs a cross, gets one. Clear for another corner for the Foxes, who are trying to get up a bit of a head of steam here. Leicester are going to make a double substitution themselves. Silko Thomas is going to come on. And I can't see who the second player is. Leicester with the corner. Cross goes into the box. Okoli heads it square. And then it's hacked clear by Blackburn Rovers. And the referee is given a free kick, I think, for a flailing leg mid-defensive header. That's what I think, anyway. Double substitution. Yeah, Patson Daka's coming on as well, Mark Albrighton.
Yeah, he'll just stretch him. He will make the runs. Silko will probably come off maybe the left hand side, and he'll have a run at his fullback. But I think Daka's the one that can really cause the problems. I know he's not had a great time of things in his Leicester career, but he offers something that Carranza doesn't. Especially in this game, he will stretch. He will look to get in behind, and especially if they're pushing their wing backs on, there will be them gaps that are open. So two changes that will hopefully for Leicester City have an impact.
We shall see. The change takes place. Montgomery replaces Gardner Hickman. So a change for Blackburn. Leicester 0, Blackburn 1 is the latest score. Header comes in, and a throw in to the Foxes. What do you think Marti Cifuentes is thinking now? Because Blackburn are playing the better football and outsmarting them for me.
Yeah, they are, and there's so much pressure on this Leicester team, especially now, goal behind at home in a game that they should be winning. Before the game, you would have said they were odds on to win the game. So there's a lot of pressure, and Blackburn will just pick them off now because they know they're desperate. They know there'll be gaps that appear. They've just got to be patient, and they'll create chances.
And just to epitomise what's going on at the King Power Stadium at the minute, the 2 giant screens have just both failed. Oh.
Half sums it up at the minute, don't it?
It does, yeah. I guess the fortunate thing is that the Leicester fans won't see a replay of any Blackburn second or third goal. Whilst the ball is out of play, we've got team news with Watford against Borough. Ian Danter.
3 changes for both Watford and Middlesbrough this afternoon. Pollock, Cipriano and Kirangard recalled by Javi Gracia for Watford. Ayling, Brown and Conway coming to the Borough lineup. We're live from 2:30 here at Vicarage Road. Full commentary coming up on Watford against Middlesbrough.
Cheers, Dance. Back here at King Power Stadium, it remains Leicester 0, Blackburn 1 in the Championship. The Foxes on the brink of a treble substitution, it looks like, down below. Ayew and Daka set to come on. We've had 21 minutes of the second half. Blackburn getting down the right wing. They could get a cross in to score a second. They have scored a second. Blackburn Rovers 2 up, and that game looks dead and buried. It's Gudjohnsen with the first, it's Gudjohnsen with the second. 2 goals and probably all 3 points for Blackburn. Leicester 0, Blackburn Rovers 2.
Yeah, and it's the wing back again. It's Olabiosu who creates the goal. He gets to the byline. He whips a lovely ball across the face of goal. And Gudjohnsen's there. He's the one that's on his toes. He's the one that makes the drive to go and get that ball. And he finishes with so much confidence into the roof of the net. And Stalacic has got no chance.
They're chanting you're not fit to wear the shirt at the minute, Mark Albrighton.
It's not a good place to be if you're a Leicester City player out on that pitch at the minute. 2-0 down. The fans have turned. It's not a good place to be. It's not a good position to be in. They need to turn this around and fast.
They're 2-0 down, and they've got 12 players on the pitch at the minute because Luke Thomas is about to come on. Christensen's got to go off. So a treble substitution. But let's pick the bones out of the goal. Olabiosu's done brilliantly to cross it, and I've got to credit the run. Gudjohnsen's done well. He's got penalty spot to the near post, wrapped it round. He scored a good goal.
And we just compare it. We compare everything to the Leicester situation and Carranza in the first half, where he should have dove to get the ball. Gudjohnsen's made sure he's got to that ball first. He's made sure that he's made that run. He's arced it around his defender. He's got to that near post, and he's wrapped such a confident finish into the top of the net.
Well, we said at least they won't get to see the replay on the giant screens of the second goal. It was tongue-in-cheek, but it's true. So Luke Thomas on for the Foxes, Jordan Ayew on for the Foxes, and Patson Daka, who's on the ball here, on for the Foxes. Marti Cifuentes has got some things to consider. Carranza has had a very, very difficult game. He's had a poor game, let's get it right. He's had a very poor game.
I just feel like he hasn't had an impact in terms of he hasn't put himself about, he hasn't made runs in behind, and he's not offered his team anything at all. Yeah, it's hard for him. He's up there on his own with 3 centre-halves, 3 very good centre-halves as well. It's going to be difficult for him. But just put yourself about a little bit, cause a bit of an issue, cause a bit of a problem. Let them know that they're in a game. Them 3 centre-halves, they've just ran the show.
They've been outstanding.
Yeah, they have, and they've done it effortlessly as well. They've not had anything to deal with.
Yep, they barely need to wash their shirts after the game. Fatawu for Leicester, well tackled by Hedges, who's come on at half-time for Blackburn and just slotted in nicely. Hedges for Blackburn. But the centre-halves, McLaughlin, Wharton and Miller, have been outstanding for the Rovers. Leicester 2-0 down here, Talksport 2. Bringing you all the goals from the big games in the EFL here on Talksport, whether you're swiping across on the app to Talksport 1 or Talksport 2. We've got it covered. Leicester out-muscled in the Blackburn half, and Rovers look to go long, but that just drifts out of play and it'll be a throw-in. There's a treatment needing to be administered to Jordan James, who got a kick. And in the 66th minute, Leicester's 1 win and 8. He's going to go to 1 win in 9. And they will have lost the last 3 if it stays this way, which there are no signs of it changing from the evidence of the first 66 minutes. But then you go back to Mavididi 4 yards out.
Yeah, and it's turning points, it's details in games, it's moments, and obviously if Mavididi goes on to score that, which he should have, would it have been a different game? Would Leicester have then picked it up and gone on to win the game? Who knows? But it's all if buts and maybes. And like I say, we were saying earlier, even in this second half, Blackburn have been good. Yeah. They've been very good. Let's make no doubt about that. Leicester have been poor, but Blackburn have been good. They've been patient. They've waited for their opportunity. And they've found the gaps. And it's 2-0. They could have had another 2 with the Gardner Hickman chance and the Morishita chance as well.
That the voice of Mark Albrighton, former Fox winger, winner of this division, as well as a Championship, FA Cup, Community Shield. Those days are gone. Long gone. And as much as Foxes fans will enjoy watching the giant screen pre-match, and they'll see all the montage of the Yuri Tillemans FA Cup winning goal and the Jamie Vardy goals winning the Premier League. These are different days. Those days are gone. And as local band Kasabian in a lyric once wrote, those days are forgotten. Live long in the memory, and something the fans will always enjoy, but at the moment it's a difficult watch for the Foxes fans. But Blackburn honestly are popping the ball around at the moment and look outstanding. They do not look 21st in this division. They're 2-0 up, and every play has grown an inch. Throw in they have wide right on a hat-trick. Gudjohnsen. We heard of Kiefer Moore's perfect hat-trick last night. Can there be another one this afternoon? He's on a hat-trick. Montgomery on, a reminder for Blackburn, and there are Leicester fans leaving already. People are heading to the exits. 68 minutes gone on Talksport 2. Well, he's tried rolling the dice. Ayew, Daka, Thomas. Throw in comes into the Leicester box. They half deal with it. It does need Vestergaard to still get a bit of a head on to clear, but back towards danger it comes from Tronstad. He's looked good in central midfield as well, just grinding away the Norwegian. Alabiusu wide right for Blackburn, tries to get down to the dead ball line, digs out a good cross. Ricardo's just about there to head the ball into safety, but who was loitering with intent? Gudjohnsen, who gets a scuffed cross in here, and then Fatawu puts the ball straight out of play. There are 6s and 7s of Foxes here, and Blackburn capitalised. I'll tell you what Blackburn are doing well here for me, Mark Albright. They're 2 up. They go, it's all right. We're going to take another 10 seconds with this throw-in. We're going to take a bit longer with this free kick. We're going to just take any energy you've got out of this game.
Yeah, now for them it's just a case of managing the game. They've got it exactly where they would want it, probably even better as they come forward again. But they've played the game perfectly. If there was a game plan, I'm sure it's been executed perfectly. And now they're in this position with 20 or so minutes to play, 2-0 up. They just need to pass the ball around, keep possession.
Leicester can't keep possession, and here come Blackburn, but it's stolen by Harry Winks, who was backtracking, trying to get defensively. Leicester are all over the place at the minute. Harry Winks is at right back. A cross comes into the Foxes box, and Vestergaard gets a head on it. Alabiusu recycles. Jordan Ayew's at left back. Alabiusu, the fullback for Blackburn, knocks it in field. And they just want it a bit more as well, Rovers. You know, they're scrapping away and winning their head-to-heads. They're winning their battles. Here is Tronstad again for Blackburn. Wide right, halfway inside the Leicester half. 2-0 Blackburn lead on Talksport 2 at the King Power Stadium. If you're just tuning in, it's Gudjohnsen with a pair of goals that will elevate Blackburn Rovers up the championship table that they desperately need. Bubba and Okoli clear Leicester's lines. Leicester look like they're trying to do a jigsaw puzzle with a blindfold on. Here is Harry Winks in his own half, looks for Jordan Ayew. Jordan Ayew down the left-hand side. Jordan Ayew threatened to use a bit of pace, or the pace that he's still got. Loses out to Lewis Miller, who again marshalled him nicely.
Yeah, managed it really well. Again, what I've said all game, I feel like the wing backs have been crucial for Blackburn in this game. Olabiosu on that far side, then even Ryan Hedges coming on in his second half, and the way that he's played and how direct they've been, how attacking they've been, getting crosses in the box. But when Leicester have broke, the 3 centre-halves are there for that security, and they've mopped every single thing up that's come their way.
Here's Winks just over the halfway line, finds Ricardo Pereira for Leicester. 19 minutes to go. Good turn in the middle of the park from Bouba Samare. Samare then gives the ball away. Blackburn try and knock it forward, but Vestergaard's done well. Luke Thomas and now Harry Winks. Winks looks inside right channel and finds Ricardo Pereira, the captain, inside to Winks, 5-yard pass. Winks then puts his palms to the sky as if to say, there's not loads of options ahead of me here, boys.
Yeah, and he's right to some extent, because you've got Patson Daka, Jordan Ayew and Abdul Fatawu, the three ahead of him, that are just stood next to defenders. They're not looking to make a movement, a double movement, one going behind, one comes short. They're just static, and they're just going to get eaten alive by the defenders.
Or the Mark Albrighton dodge, the 2-yard run, drop your shoulder and then go. Saw that a few times. But no, they were all standing still. Ricardo went in with his studs up a bit there, got away with it. And that's the one thing that you want as a manager. You want discipline to remain while you're 2-0 down at home. The risk of a red card is quite high. Leicester are going to make another substitution. Bobby Deckled-over-Reid coming on, I'd imagine, for Abdul Fatawu. Although Jordan James is struggling. Yeah, I think it's for Jordan James, you know. It is.
Substitution for Leicester City, jersey number 6, Jordan James. Number 14, Bobby Deckled-over-Reid.
Deckled-over-Reid on. I'm not sure what the boos were for. Were the boos for taking Jordan James off? I think he came off because he was injured, right?
Yeah, I think it's difficult for fans to know that. Obviously, we can see it. We're having a proper look at it here. I think fans are so invested in what's happening now that any decision that he makes at the minute won't go down well.
No, it's not. There are 17 minutes to go at King Power Stadium. It's Leicester 0, Blackburn 2. 2 goals from Gudjohnsen after his goal against Southampton last week for Rovers. He's in a rich vein of form within 7 days. They've got Bristol City away next up, Derby at home and Preston away. Big game for Blackburn, Preston away in 3 games' time. Leicester have got Middlesbrough, Norwich and Stoke. So Borough's going to be a test for Leicester. Having suffered defeat here, Luke Thomas just crosses the ball straight into the arms of Balaz Tort, and he gets booed for it. And that is 2 people's cue to our right-hand side, Mark Albrighton to leave. 74 minutes gone.
Yeah, and since I've been coming back a little bit this season, and gradually you can start seeing, even before the game, and the stadium not full, and it is disappointing. I get it, I fully get it. It's not exciting to come and watch at the minute, so I do understand it. And now obviously still got 15 or so minutes to play, and fans leaving. It's not a good place to be at the moment.
And if you're Blackburn Rovers, what, you just make it ugly for the next 10 minutes?
Yeah, pretty much. And do you know what? From what I've seen of them, there's no reason why they can't go on and create more opportunities, because Leicester will be trying to push forward, and Blackburn, all they've got to do is knock the ball around, be patient with it, and like I said before, the gaps will open up for them, and they will get more opportunities.
The songs you can hear are coming from the Blackburn Rovers fans who have travelled from the northwest today. With a quarter of an hour to go on Talksport 2, it's Leicester 0, Blackburn Rovers 2. A reminder at the start of today's proceedings, Leicester in 10th, Blackburn in 21st. The visitors, having lost 7 of the opening 11 in the league, they have performed brilliantly. Leicester fans with some sarcastic olés as they string 4 passes together. Here's a Coley wearing the number 5. Forward he finds the diminutive figure of Deckled-over-Reid. Leicester win a throw in. Fatawu casting a frustrated figure. Leicester need leaders, and that's exactly what Blackburn have got, and I think it's gotten them through a lot of this game. Here is their captain, Ricardo Pereira. Deckled-over-Reid with the cross. Out it comes to Luke Thomas. He finds fellow substitute Jordan Ayew wide left, who I think has lost entire perspective as to where the ball is there. Twice. Somehow has kept it at his feet. Will try and fashion a cross, will he? Now he goes back to Luke Thomas. Now Winks. Winks squares it up and almost gives it away, and Blackburn were away there. They are streaming to the exits here at the King Power Stadium. Talksport 2, Leicester 0, Blackburn 2. Rovers with a goal in each half from Gudjohnsen. Here's Fatawu. Does well to beat his man, gets to the dead ball line, crosses. Out for a corner. He's been Leicester's one bright spark, has he?
Yeah, he has. I feel like he's been in and out of the game, but when he has been in it, he's looked lively. First half, like I said, he was coming inside on his left foot a lot. He's had a couple of opportunities in this second half where he's gone down the line to the byline, tried to create something. So he has looked lively when he's been given the ball, but there's just so much onus on him in this Leicester City team.
Leicester corner. It'll be taken by Abdul Fatawu. Takes it left-footed into the box. It goes again. Blackburn defensively very, very well organised. I think it was Scott Wharton who just got enough on that. Hedges was there or thereabouts as well. Miller not too far away. All of them just holding their space, holding their player. What's wrong with the referee here? It's a Leicester free kick.
Yeah, I think Vestergaard was just shielding the ball out, just got clipped. Did well actually to buy the free kick, if you like, and gives Leicester an opportunity to put the ball in the box.
Probably about 7 or 8 yards more infield than the corner flag. Cop end. Leicester 0, Blackburn 2. 12 to go on Talksport 2 here. Ismail, the Blackburn manager, very vocal on the edge of his technical area. Claims the one-man wall isn't 10 yards. The cross does come in. It bounces around and goes out for a goal kick. That was a great delivery from Jordan Ayew. Nobody on the end of it. 2-0 Blackburn lead.
Yeah, it's a fantastic ball in by Jordan Ayew. Plenty of pace, plenty of whip, and there has to be a Leicester City shirt on the end of it. Deckled over Reed. Probably just gets the header wrong. Looks to just glance it on. Ducks out the way of it. Patson Daka can't reach it, falling over, and the ball falls out of play over the far side.
Well, that must be difficult for any player. Sumare gets ironic and sarcastic cheers as his numbers put up to go off. That's tough.
Yeah, I don't like that. I've never liked that as a player when I've seen it happen to players that I'm on the same pitch as. I've never bought into that. Nobody goes out to try and have a bad game, and he's not been the worst player on the pitch by a mile. I'd certainly say that he's probably not performed at his best, but there's been on par, if not lesser performances than his today.
Forshaw comes on for Tronstad for Blackburn. So Adam Forshaw at the tender age of 34, former Leeds and Borough, Brentford amongst his former clubs. We know what he's going to do. Adam Forshaw's going to drop anchor in there in the middle of the park, just try and tick it all over. Okoli, that's a poor tackle. If the referee's given a free kick there, I think he's going to get more than a stern talking to Okoli, because he elbowed Gudjohnsen in the back of the head. I think he's fortunate to get away with that one, which he has. Free kick Blackburn, halfway inside the Leicester half. Mark, just have a look to your left. Look at the gangways. Just clearing. There's queues of people to get out with 10 minutes to go.
Yeah, it is sad to see. It is sad to see where this club's at the minute, and the position that they're in. You look over the far side, so many empty seats. You can see the writing on the seats now, and it's not good. Fair play to them Blackburn fans that have travelled.
They're making plenty of noise as Blackburn try and work a cross from a free kick that was a foul of Okoli. It was Wharton who was forward and trying to do something about it. Getting a long ball thrown into the Leicester box that they've done well. They've just been caught out from a quick move there as it comes back in. It could be 3. Okoli does well to clear, but they had numbers over, did Blackburn Rovers. Here's Hedges, the substitute. Silko Thomas just pushing forward for Leicester, but Leicester are well and truly gone in this game. They'll win a free kick here. Foul on Okoli. But you see when you're 2-0 down, Mark Albrighton, and people say, oh, next goal's a big goal. If you get one back, you'll get more. And again, forgive me, but I've seen Leicester City under Nigel Pearson. He never let people go down without a fight. there just doesn't seem to be that kind of collar-grabbing fight out there.
No, and I think...
Is that unfair?
No, I don't think it is. I think there's certainly a lack of characters in the Leicester City side, probably lack of personality that needs to pull them through it at times like this. But I also heap a lot of praise on Blackburn and the way that they've dealt with it and the way that they've played and how they've managed the game from 1-0 up to even when they got their second goal.
Now Patson Daka might be in behind here. He's dragged down. Was it a foul? Was it late? It's a corner. It was a good tackle. If that's a genuine tackle from Scott Wharton, that's probably tackle of the day. Well done him. Daka's in almost one-on-one. Wharton's gone go gadget leg and won the ball.
Yeah, well, we said it in the first half when he intercepted a pass. He reads the game so well. He's done exactly the same on this occasion as well. He's read the game so well, and even when he's down on the floor, his mates cover him round him to protect that side of him.
So it'll be a corner to Leicester. Ayew takes it, right-footed outswinger. Vestergaard's there. Okoli tries to keep it alive, but it's saved by goalkeeper Tor. And an opportunity for Blackburn to take their time at Carrow Road. Norwich 0, Hull 1 with 5 minutes to go in that one. Norwich 5 defeats at home. They are struggling at Carrow Road once again against 8th place Hull City. With 5 minutes to go there, Hull are a goal up. West Brom 0, Sheffield Wednesday 0 as the latest score. 2-0 to Blackburn Rovers here at King Power Stadium. 6 minutes to go. I will ask for a player of the match from you at some stage, Mark, as the ball is clear from McLaughlin. I don't want to speak too soon, but somebody gets 2 goals away from home. I'd imagine that Gudjohnsen will be there or thereabouts. But then that said, the back three have been brilliant so far for Blackburn. So stay tuned to find out who that player of the match is going to be. Don't think it's going to be a player in blue.
I don't think it's going to be, no. just going through the teams there and just having a look, and that Blackburn team, I could pick any one of them. It's that to a man, they've been absolutely superb today.
Blackburn Rovers 2 goals up. Gudjohnsen with 1 in each half in the 20th. Left wing cross from Denivo, who's since gone off. Gudjohnsen was there after a little bit of fortune. It came off of Sumare. Second goal in the second period as Stolarczyk lets it go across his body. What's he done? He's given it away. Blackburn could score a third. The offside flag has gone up. Wow. Stolarczyk, the Leicester goalkeeper, has just fizzed the ball straight into the boots of, I think that was Morishita.
Yeah, I could see it building up when the ball comes back to Stolarczyk, and he looks to play the ball out on his left foot out wide to the left-hand side, and he just never put enough pace on it. It was never reaching, and Leicester have got away with another one there.
Again, cross into the Blackburn box towards the back post. Down goes Silko Thomas, former Chelsea youth, just 21 years old. He went down in the box wanting a penalty. Not given. And Blackburn again trotting across slowly to take the throw in. I can understand why. Take your time about it. 4 minutes to go, and the busiest part of this ground at the moment is going to be the gangways, or the vomitoriums, if you want to give them their official title. Something that one of your afternoon commentators, Mike McCarthy, once taught me. Afternoon, Michael. He and Charlie Austin will be at Brackley against Notts County. On comes Gay for Blackburn, and he's going to replace Ahashi, who's worked his socks off. And with just over 3 minutes to go, Mark Albright, who is going to be your player of the match?
Yeah, well, like I said before, it could have been a number of them. I think I narrowed it down to 2. I think Alabiosu has been absolutely fantastic in this game. He could have quite easily got it. He was the making of the second goal, but ultimately with his 2 goals, I think Gudjohnsen has really won this game for Blackburn. It's been a team effort, but he's the one. Obviously got his goal last week, and couple this week he seems to really be finding his feet in this league, and he looks like a player.
Your player of the match then, as awarded by Mark Albrighton, is 2-goal scorer Andre Gudjohnsen for Blackburn Rovers. A goal in each half. He's been fantastic, frankly, as a Blackburn. Is there a Leicester player that gets more than a 6 out of 10?
I don't think there is. No,
nor do I.
I think probably I would say Vestergaard has been the best of the bunch in terms of Leicester. He's the one that's tried to play the forward passes, being on the front foot. He's tried to put himself about a bit when he's gone up. Maybe Fatawu. Yeah, but
if so, they're a generous 7.
Yeah,
I agree. 2.5 minutes to go, then stay tuned on Talksport 2. We will bring you action from the Vicarage Road. Watford taking on Middlesbrough. Ian Danter and Perry Groves, your commentary team. Here's Jordan Ayew down the inside right channel for Leicester City, trying to nick something late. He's number 1. I think Jordan Ayew's just caught the ball whilst it's still on the field, and number 2, he was hoping to see it out for a corner into the goal kick. Apart from that, he did brilliantly.
Yeah, I think that sort of sums up the performance, to be honest. He's hit it straight at his defender. He's tried to shield it out for a corner and got in the way of it ultimately, and goal kick to Blackburn.
I'll tell you one thing's for sure, the few thousand that remain, and I'm going to say this is a 32,000 all-seater stadium, the King Power Stadium. Let's say there were 30,000 here at the start, tickets in circulation, whatever. I think half of them have gone. Ball over the top, can Leicester get in on the end of it? No is the answer. It was Patson Daka trying to get in on it. Again, I remind you, 1 in 23. For Daka, trying to get in there was never going to happen, and forward it goes towards Gay, the substitute for Blackburn. I reckon that might even be generous that half are still here, you know.
At least the traffic won't be too bad on the way out. I suppose you've got to look for the positives here.
Never great round here, is it? Never great. Used to a police escort round here, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
In fact, yeah. Coley is robbed by Gudjohnsen. Gudjohnsen plays it inside, and it could be 3. It should be 3 for Gay for Blackburn. How's he not scored yet? There's no keeper in the net. He's still on the ball. Stalacic gets back a goal. Gay strikes it, just whistles wide past the post. That was comedy football. There are boos echoing out. That was Sunday League at times from Leicester. That was woeful. Keeper comes out, misses the ball, gifts it to Gay. Gay's in, defenders all over the shop. Honestly, that was atrocious.
It was just a comedy sequence of events. The Gudjohnsen, again, fantastic by the way, wins the ball back, slides one across that teases Stalacic to come out, misses the ball, and why Gay didn't just finish the ball off with his left foot when he first got it, and then Stalacic, still out of his goal, had another chance to put it in the back of the net, but decided to cut inside and eventually loses the ball. But comedy of events.
Morishita's chance, Gardner Hickman's chance, Gay's chance. Could be 5.
Yeah, could well be 5. And I look at the other end, and you've probably only had clear-cut chances, probably Mavadidi.
55 minutes, 4 yards out, hit the goalkeeper at 1-0 down. I'm not sure there's 5,000 people in here at the minute. It is empty. We're into 4 minutes of added time. Talksport 2. It's the story of Blackburn Rovers being top class here at the King Power Stadium, but also Leicester City being woeful. And they're in trouble. Leicester with Silko Thomas trying to win the ball, but Blackburn with a few allays, trying to win a few throw-ins. 3 minutes to go until the end of this game. I will speak to Marti Cifuentes after the game. Stay tuned to Talksport 2. We'll bring you that interview. I'm sure it'll be a laugh a minute.
I spoke about the quality that Blackburn players have had, how difficult it was choosing a man of the match. I think as well, special mention to Ryan Hedges, who's come on at half time and he's absolutely run the show down his left hand side. He's been absolutely fantastic.
Now a chance for Blackburn into the Leicester 18-yard box. They go, get squared up, and it's cleared by Vestergaard. Daka, it was McLaughlin. That was a centre half squaring that up. Centre half for Blackburn. He's been brilliant. I think you need to keep your head down when you leave this ground, because those three centre halves will be having you, not giving them man of the match. Double goal scorer though, quite deserves it. Gudjohnsen. We've had 2 minutes of 4. Talksport 2, Leicester 0, Blackburn 2. Leicester give the ball away again. If you've got a bingo card, you'll have had a few goes on that today. Leicester giving the ball away. Gaze in the middle here for Blackburn. If it gets squared up, it could be number 3. Are they heading for the corner? No. Well, that tells you all you need to know. 2-0 up away and you're not going for the corner. You fancy a third, but in fact they then do recycle and go back into a defensive region. If you're Marti Cifuentes, are you under pressure?
I think certainly you're under pressure. I've been a massive fan of his for whatever reason. I'm not sure. I liked the way I started seeing his style being implemented game by game, but I feel like the last few weeks have been a massive step back for Leicester, and today is a real low point in the club's season.
But well done to Valérien Ismaël. We'll be putting back-to-back wins together, scoring 4 goals, beating Southampton last week late, beating Leicester away with 2, and those jubilant Blackburn Rovers fans in the corner are making plenty of noise. We've got 30 seconds of added time to go. Leicester fans leaving to my right hand side, shaking their heads. Watford against Middlesbrough coming up here on Talksport 2. Stay tuned for that. We'll take you to the Vic very, very soon. Here's double goal scorer Gudjohnsen. Forshaw playing a 1-2 and wanting it back. Here's Fatawu in his own half, still with Fatawu. He's probably going to be fouled. Stays on his feet. Cordova-Reid's got Daka should score. It's well done by the defender. Claims of handball. It's a corner, Leicester. You can change that man of the match if you want. What a saving tackle that was.
Yeah, fantastic. Absolutely fantastic again. Throwing bodies on the line, protecting that clean sheet. Super. Daka don't do a great deal wrong in terms of his run's good. He tries to lift the ball, but ultimately, fantastic tackle.
You don't need me to tell you that that's the full-time whistle, and there are some very, very disgruntled Leicester City fans around. Some jubilant Blackburn players, some jubilant Blackburn fans, and you can understand why, because they've been outstanding. Let's give the credit that Blackburn Rovers deserve. They sat in for the first 10. Gudjohnsen scored after 20. He scored in the second half. You're not fit to wear the shirt echoes out around the King Power Stadium. I'm going to give Blackburn Rovers a lot of credit. I think they've done well. They've frustrated Leicester City. They've caused the fans to boo. That's the story really, but Mark Albrighton, the story is also tempered with Leicester City being woeful. What's the story of the day for you? 2-0 Blackburn.
Yeah, we spoke about it beforehand that Blackburn need to come here. They need to turn the crowd. They need to get a bit of confidence. I thought the first couple of minutes they struggled. They looked low on confidence. After that, they've been absolutely superb. They got the goal in the first half. They had a couple more close chances. Second half was absolutely brilliant from Blackburn. The game plan was executed perfectly. They had chances galore to go on and win the game by even more. But ultimately, they've come away from home. They've really give their fans something to cheer about. You can see them walking over there now, and it's complete opposite at the other end of the field, with Leicester City fans getting all sorts from their Leicester City players getting all sorts from their fans.
Well, fake or others, these are very interesting scenes at the King Power Stadium. Fatawu's had a bit of a spat with one of his own players, and they're being soundly booed by. They are going to applaud the 1,000 or so that remain, but the Blackburn Rovers players are being rapturously applauded as they head over. Blackburn have been excellent. They have been superb, and a performance that belies their position. They deserve the 3 points. Leicester 0, Blackburn 2.
Yeah, really tough scenes to watch, and the Leicester players are heading over to the home fans that are still remaining, as you mentioned, Ian. Not that many of them, because many left a good 20 to 30 minutes ago after that performance, and the heads are really bowed from all of the Leicester players. Marti Cifuentes looks very serious as well. He's got a real job on his hands to try and build these players' confidence back up again, because it's all well and good the fans criticising what they're seeing on the pitch, but really when you're in a situation like this, and by the way, Leicester City are 11th in the table, so although it feels perhaps from this performance and this defeat, and this is the third defeat on the bounce, that this is a Leicester side in free fall and really struggling, they're actually not in a bad position in the table, and things can easily be turned around. But it's the confidence that's going to have to do that. Blackburn have that confidence. They're up to 19th in the table, 4 points above the relegation places now, after 2 wins on the bounce for Valerian Ismail's side, but just the 1 win in 9 games for Leicester, their third defeat in a row, and crucially their first defeat at home this season, and that's the reaction that they get. I wonder whether it's the manner of the defeat that they're most unhappy with, Mark Albrighton.
Yeah, I think it is. I think it's a bit of both. I think obviously the result and the run of results that they've been on is a major factor. But I look at it and I think you start the game okay, you start the game well, you pass the ball around, you create opportunities in terms of openings, nothing clear cut, but there was a couple of half opportunities, and then all of a sudden it just turns and they concede the goal, and from then on they were just getting caught out of position left, right and centre. They didn't look organised, apart from the Mavadidi chance in the second half, midway through the second half, didn't create anything of any real note. So just so many sloppy passes and second to the ball on many occasions, and I think that's what the fans look at and think that needs to be better.
Listen, you were part of that Leicester City team that was relegated from the Premier League in 2023. I've seen comments from you about it being a total embarrassment at the time. What is it like as a player being at your home ground that's had so many good times over the years to then be booed off by the very fans that have cheered you on so many occasions? What are these players going to be thinking right now?
Yeah, it's really difficult. Obviously, people speak a lot about the good times when I was at Leicester, but we had some bad times as well. And I look back at the year after we won the Premier League, and our league form was terrible. We was getting labelled the worst champions, the worst defending champions, and you're coming out losing week in, week out in your home stadium, and the expectations, because you've won the league before, the league the year before, the expectation levels are sky high. So you're getting pelters, and I've been in that position where after the game you're going over to applaud the fans, and they're just dishing abuse out at you and shouting back at you, and it's never nice. Obviously then the relegation the first time, it was everybody saying a team too good to go down, and it was, and you've got to, I think in this situation you have to have characters, you have to have people that are willing to step up and be counted, and to galvanise the group around you, not just during the week, and obviously they'll go in on Sunday or Monday, whenever they're back in, and it'll be around there. But it's the moments on the pitch as well. When they go a goal down, you can see how it affects them and how much confidence they lose from going a goal behind. That can't be the case. You need 3-4 players out there that are going, right, okay, we settle everything down, we get back to how we was playing in the first couple of minutes, we know what we need to do, the game plan doesn't change, and I just don't feel like they've got that at the minute.
Yeah, it's been tough, that's for sure, and it gets a bit tougher as well this week because on Tuesday they're at home to Middlesbrough, and of course Middlesbrough is where we are heading shortly, or they're heading to Vicarage Road actually. They should be there right now, in fact, half an hour to kick off, and that's our next commentary game. Just a final word from you, Mark, on Blackburn Rovers and the confidence boost that they've had and what Valérien Ismaël is doing with this side. 2 wins in a row, brilliant performance from Andre Gudjohnsen as well. You named him as the man of the match. I think that was clear to see. He was excellent. But you know, again, for Blackburn, they're actually building something finally.
Yeah, they are. And I look back and I said in commentary just before Blackburn's first goal, and I looked and I says, from a Leicester point of view, I think Blackburn are there for the taking, and I remember saying it, and that's what I strongly believe, because I looked at how they were passing the ball around and they looked sloppy when they were winning the ball back off Leicester. They looked sloppy. That was in the first sort of 10-15 minutes. And then once they scored, they were a different side. They passed the ball around with assurance. They was creating chances. They were getting bodies forward. The 2 wing backs were absolutely superb today, as were the back 3. And then obviously you go up front and Gudjohnsen with his 2 goals. He was a constant threat. He was a menace. He put himself about. He caused problems to the Leicester back line, which is what Leicester weren't doing to Blackburn. And they thoroughly deserve to win the game today. And for them travelling supporters that have only just left the stadium now, they've had a long but happy trip and safe travels back to them.
Absolutely, and safe travels to you and to Ian as well, and thank you for everything today. Much appreciated. Hope to work with you again soon. Take care.
Thank you very much, you too.
Wonderful stuff. And actually, Leicester fans, do not panic too much, because you're just 6 points off third, because this is the Championship. It's tight. That's what happens. But the performances definitely need to improve.